Chapter 2342. Elder Bai's body shot out like an arrow, crashing into the wall at the end of the hallway with another loud crash. He fell to the ground like a dead dog, unmoving. Lin Yi's organs were shaken quite a bit, and his meridians were damaged as well. But Lin Yi could take it, while Elder Bai obviously couldn't. The 10th low-tier martial skill against the 11th high-tier martial skill, the result was obvious, so Elder Bai's loss wasn't unfair at all. But Lin Yi knew that Elder Bai wasn't dead. It wasn't realistic to kill him in one move, but at least he'd lost the ability to fight. With House Zhao's current strength, it was impossible for Elder Bai to recover. His injuries were too heavy, and most of his meridians were broken. His organs were displaced, too. Even if he recovered, he'd be a cripple, unable to have Earth-class late-phase peak strength. It wasn't easy for him to maintain his Mystic class or even Golden class. Gah! Qibing was dumbfounded. He looked at the unreachable person in his heart, the person he could only look up to, but he couldn't even take one move from Lin Yi. He'd been sent flying just like that, not knowing if he was dead or alive. It was only at this moment that Zhao Qibing understood that he couldn't go against Lin Yi. He couldn't rely on luck anymore. In front of Lin Yi, Qibing didn't seem to have any advantages at all. It was like this before, and it was like this now. Master Bing, next time you want to cause trouble, it's best if your grandpa comes, but even he won't be able to do it. 2 moves at most. Lin Yi said faintly. He was injured, but Lin Yi didn't show it. This injury was nothing to Lin Yi, who was often injured. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was an expert at disguising himself after being injured, and it was because of this that his enemies couldn't figure him out. Lin Yi boss, you must be joking. I wouldn't dare cause trouble. I was just joking, haha, joking, Qibing said with a sad face. Didn't you hear what I said? Lin Yi asked. What? Qibing paused. Break your own legs and leave with your people. Give this restaurant to me, and this lay daming guy, I don't want to see him anymore. Lin Yi said faintly, as for the chairman of Donghai Chamber of Commerce, I recommend someone, Pengzhan, Mengyao's father. What do you think? Ugh. I agree, Qibing said, then my legs. Does that mean I don't have to break them? If that's the case, then leave. Lin Yi nodded. He didn't break Qibing's leg again. It's almost the end of the year. Whether or not you can live past the end of the year depends on your performance. What do you mean? Qibing paused, his heart skipping a beat. Do you remember when I told you that you wouldn't be able to live past this year? Lin Yi's face paled as soon as he said that. Because he remembered the conflict he had with Zhao Qibing, but he couldn't remember why he had to fight with Zhao Qibing. It seemed like it was because of someone important to him, but who was it? Lin Yi couldn't remember. Who was it? The Miss? Shu? Or was it Xiao Xiao? But it didn't seem like it. Kang? Kang's girlfriend, Fun? Yes. It seemed to be related to Fun, but it definitely wasn't her. Who was it? Lin Yi's mind was in a mess, as if he had lost some important memory. This wasn't the first time he felt this way, and it made Lin Yi feel strange. Qibing, naturally, remembered Lin Yi's words. That setback was still fresh in his memory, and he would never forget it for the rest of his life. He came to Songshan with great ambition and built Qibing's skyscraper, but it was destroyed by Lin Yi. Phew. Lin Yi took a deep breath, and his memory was in a mess. He looked at Qibing and asked, Qibing, let me ask you something. The first time I broke your leg and destroyed your skyscraper, what was the reason? Boss Lin Yi. I didn't do it on purpose. Qibing, naturally, didn't know what Lin Yi was talking about. Qibing, why are you still here? Get out of here. Yushu suddenly opened the door and pointed at Qibing with her hands on her waist. Shu 007 had been acting as a spy at the door the whole time, and when she heard Lin Yi asking about this, she couldn't help but walk out and stop Qibing from continuing before he could say anything else. Get out, I'll get out now. How could Qibing not leave? He was afraid of breaking his leg again. Wait, the thing I asked you before. Lin Yi didn't want Qibing to leave just like that. Oh, shield bro, don't bullshit with this trash. If you talk too much, you're going to be trashed. Ask Shu if you have anything. Yushu said. Alright, get out. Lin Yi waved his hand, indicating that Qibing could leave. Lei Daming's face paled. He didn't think that the girl with the big boobs would be so strong. The high and mighty Master Bing was as careful as a mouse in front of her. Why are you still here? Are you waiting for death? Qibing kicked Lei Daming, who was standing there in a daze. Daming snapped out of his daze and staggered behind Qibing, not even daring to look back. The two picked up Elder Bai at the end of the hallway and took the elevator downstairs. Elder Bai kneeled, Qibing left, Lei Daming was scared, and Guangxi was in trouble. When the lobby manager told Zhao Guangxi what happened here, Zhao Guangxi was so scared that he almost vomited. Lin Yi? He almost fainted. Why was it him again? Last time, it was because Zhao Fafa didn't know his place and messed with Lin Yi's woman. Not only did he bring Zhao Fafa out of Songshan, but he was also alienated by the hidden house Zhao. But today, he was wronged. He was only following Lei Daming's orders, he didn't even think about messing with Lin Yi. He was being shot even though he was lying down. With that thought, Guangxi hurriedly called Zhao Qibing. Hello? Qibing didn't want to answer at first, but he remembered that Lin Yi was still eating at Guangxi's restaurant. What if something happened to Lin Yi? He quickly picked up, what's up? Master Bing, you can't just ignore me. I'm just following Lei Daming's orders, I didn't want to mess with Lin Yi. Guangxi said with a sad face, he wants my restaurant and property, why am I so unlucky? Chapter 2343. Then, as if remembering something, Qibing continued, how much is that hotel and company worth? Give it all to him, and I'll arrange something for you later. If you can make Lin Yi happy, it'll be a great achievement. Don't let him hate us, the hidden house Zhao. I'll think of a way to make you the vice chairman of the business association. Other than managing the business, you can spend the rest of your time kissing Pengzhan's ass. Qibing really pissed his pants today. Elder Bai was such a powerful being, yet Lin Yi took him down with one move. He even said that even if Elder Zhao came, he wouldn't be able to take on Lin Yi in 2 moves. How could Qibing fight Lin Yi? Qibing didn't want to die. As the saying goes, a bad life is better than a good death. He was the heir of the hidden house Zhao, he couldn't die. Although he hated Lin Yi to the core, he knew that he couldn't take revenge. Absolutely not. Even if he couldn't show even the slightest bit of hatred. But deep in his heart, he had already listed Lin Yi as his #1 enemy. As long as he could make a comeback, it would be the day of Lin Yi's death. But before that, he would kiss Lin Yi's ass and lick his shoes. He had to live, and that was the only way he could take revenge. On this day, Pengzhan Industries had officially gained a foothold in Donghai City. What was supposed to be a complicated matter had been solved in the middle of a meal, and Pengzhan, an outsider, had somehow become the chairman of Donghai Chamber of Commerce. Pengzhan, on the other hand, had somehow accomplished his dream. What he'd thought would be a difficult task had been effortless. Lin Yi and Shu returned to the room, and Lin Yi looked at Shu, confused. Shu, why did I cause trouble for Zhao Qibing the first time? Because he likes Yao Yao, and wanted to XX Yao Yao. That's why you got mad, Shu said. Meng Yao heard Yushu's words and blushed. She glared at Yushu but didn't refute. She knew that Yushu was bullshitting, but if she refuted it now, Lin Yi would definitely get to the root of the problem. It might even lead to Tang Yun's matter. Meng Yao could only admit it. Is that so? Lin Yi paused. It seemed like Zhao Qibing and Meng Yao did have a grudge against each other, yeah. Yushu nodded with a straight face. All right. Lin Yi nodded. My mind's a little messed up after the deviation, and I keep feeling like something's missing from my memories. Piece by piece. For example, when you guys went back to my old home with me, there were a lot of things I can't remember, including the night on the way back. I don't remember anything. Yeah, Shield Bro, your memory is a bit messed up after you went crazy, but Shu remembers everything, Yushu nodded. Alright. Lin Yi thought that it was most likely the side effect of going crazy last time, causing his memory to be incomplete. What happened before didn't affect the mood of the dining, and Peng Zhan was especially excited. He heard from the room that Lin Yi solved the problem easily. He was a senior, and it was a bit embarrassing to ask a junior like Lin Yi to help him, but Peng Zhan didn't treat Lin Yi as a normal person the moment he came to the Chu villa. It was all because of his father's recommendation, and what his father said after that. If Wan came back and House Chu rose again, it all depended on Lin Yi. Peng Zhan didn't know what kind of background Lin Yi had, but he believed in his father, Chu Sanhua. Just like the benefactor his father found for him, he helped him take care of the Grand Elder of the Dark Palace, and the first person to cause trouble for him and Wan. He also forced the Grand Elder to make a promise, which was better than him and Meng Yao. If it wasn't for that person, he and Meng Yao would have died a long time ago. He hadn't heard from that person for a long time, but Peng Zhan suddenly saw the shadow of that person in Lin Yi, except that Lin Yi's personality was colder and more arrogant. Uncle Chu, congratulations on successfully moving the group to the capital. Han Xiaopa raised his glass and said with some shame, originally, as a local tyrant, I should have done my bit, but I didn't expect the hidden Zhao family to intervene. If boss didn't help, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. Xiaopa, don't look down on yourself. If it wasn't for that old thing Elder Bai, Zhao Qibing wouldn't have dared to be so arrogant, Lin Yi said faintly. This time, the hidden house Zhao should be able to rest for a while. Yeah, boss, you're too strong. You can kill an Earth-class late-phase peak now? But I see that you're still an Earth-class mid-phase? Han Xiaopa looked at Lin Yi, a little confused. Yeah, I've created a technique, and it's just a little stronger, Lin Yi said. No way, boss. Boss, you actually created your own martial skill? What kind of concept is that? You're a master of martial arts. Han Xiaopa said, shocked. I'm not a grandmaster. Lin Yi smiled, suddenly thinking that if he combined Thousand Changes and Raging Fire Fist together, would he be able to create a new technique? But Lin Yi shook his head at the thought. The second form of Mu Linsun's Thousand Changes and Five Elements Baguazhang had the power of the second form of the Frenzy Fist. If he were to combine Mu Linsun's Thousand Changes with the Frenzy Fist, it'd only have this much power. It'd basically be a waste of effort, and there was no guarantee of success. When he was on the stage of the Hidden House Summit, Lin Yi had thought of combining them, but he didn't succeed. Maybe it was because the Five Elements Baguazhang had a special way of activating it that it could produce the effect of combining them. Of course, if he could combine Raging Fire Fist, Thousand Changes, and Five Elements Baguazhang into one, then the power would reach a terrifying level. But Lin Yi knew that it was impossible. Lin Yi couldn't use two techniques at the same time. He could only use one technique at the same time, and then use it according to the method of activating Five Elements Baguazhang. Lin Yi wasn't Zhou Batong. He couldn't use two different techniques at the same time. Lin Yi could control the switching time to the shortest possible, using both hands one after the other as if he was activating two skills at the same time, but that was only a matter of making the switching of skills as nimble as possible. It wasn't the same as using both skills at the same time. Chapter 2344. Zhao Qikuan. I heard that he was sent to the Sky Elixir test by the Hidden House, but I'm not sure. Xiaopa was from a hidden house as well, and naturally, he had received the test from the Sky Elixir school, but he didn't know about the relationship between Zhao Qikuan and Lin Yi. Sky Elixir test. What's that? Lin Yi asked curiously. Boss, even if you didn't tell me, I wanted to discuss it with you in the next couple of days. Xiaopa said, I wanted to talk to you about it before when you asked me for the qi gathering pill, but you were outside, and it wasn't something that could be explained in a few words. Oh? Tell me about it. Xiaopa's words seemed to indicate that the Sky Elixir school's test was quite useful. Yes, boss, this Sky Elixir test is a test sent out by the ancient Sky Elixir school, and all the masters of the hidden houses and above can participate. Xiaopa said, completing the test will give you a great reward, and the reward can be a third-level pill from the Sky Elixir school, or some treasures of the same value. From what I know, the Sky Elixir school has a lot of colored steel, and that's a necessary material for cauldrons. So, if you can participate in the test and complete the mission, then you can get these rewards. Colored steel. Lin Yi raised an eyebrow. This was something he really needed, but was the Sky Elixir test really that easy to complete? Compared to the Ice Palace's trial, the rewards weren't just a little bit better. And so Lin Yi was very confused. This Sky Elixir test isn't simple, is it? It is. Xiaopa nodded, go to a very dangerous place and gather some ingredients. As long as you gather enough, you can come back and exchange them for the reward. The Sky Elixir school does what they say, and there have been people who have gotten the third-level qi gathering pill before. But most people never come back. Oh? Lin Yi frowned. If that's the case, why doesn't the Sky Elixir school send their own people? Isn't this reward a little too generous? Maybe because it's too dangerous and the death rate is too high, the Heavenly Elixir sect doesn't want to make unnecessary sacrifices. Han Xiaopa said, but we don't know much about the hidden Han family. Although we've received the Heavenly Elixir sect's trial call before, we didn't even participate in the easier Ice Palace trial, let alone the dangerous Heavenly Elixir sect trial. Our hidden Han family has been keeping a low profile. I see. Lin Yi began to plan in his heart. This was a good opportunity to get colored steel, but he didn't know if he should participate. From what Han Xiaopa had told him, the rewards for this test were great, but the danger was high as well. The Hidden House Zhao's goal for sending Qikuan there was self-explanatory. They wanted to use him as a pawn to gain some benefits for the family. But it wasn't a pity if he died, at least he couldn't cause trouble for Qibing. Of course, Lin Yi didn't know that the Hidden House Zhao made this decision because of him. It was because of Qikuan's information that the Hidden House Zhao made this decision. If you're going, boss, then I'll go with you. Han Xiaopa saw that Lin Yi was a little moved. He gritted his teeth and said boldly. He thought back to the time when he and Lin Yi were in the ring. With a boss like this, he had no regrets in his life. There's no rush to make a decision. Go ask around about this Sky Elixir sect's test, and ask Zhao Qikuan on the way. See if he's really going. Lin Yi said. Zhao Qikuan is my follower as well, so I don't need to worry about him. I can't just ignore him. Oh. Alright, I'll keep an eye out. Han Xiaopa paused and nodded. Actually, the best way is to ask Zhao Qibing directly. I'm sure he'll tell me everything he knows. Lin Yi nodded. Xiaopa was stunned. Alright, ask him out later and ask him about this. Lin Yi wasn't interested in asking Qibing personally. Just looking at him annoyed him. No problem, boss, leave it to me. I'll investigate this thoroughly. Han Xiaopa replied. After they finished their meal, just as they were about to pay the bill and leave, the lobby manager followed a middle-aged man into the private room with a dark expression. What are you doing back here? Han Xiaopa yelled. The manager was pissed off. This guy was making him lose face again and again. He was here to give face to Lin Yi, but he was almost kicked out by the manager. After that, the manager found Qibing and Elder Bai to back him up and gave Han Xiaopa a hard time. Now that he was here for the third time, naturally, Han Xiaopa wasn't going to be nice to him. Ugh. Everyone, I'm sorry, I'm the owner of Northern Ice Sea Seafood Restaurant, and also the chairman of Guangxi Restaurant Group. My name is Zhao Guangxi. Guangxi said carefully to Lin Yi and the others. Zhao Guangxi. Lin Yi frowned. What are you doing here? Do I know you? Waiter, pay the bill and leave. Ugh. I'm Zhao Fafa's father, Lin Yi boss. Guangxi panicked. He was following Qibing's orders to give his business to Lin Yi. If he didn't, he'd face Qibing's wrath when he returned. Plus, there were only benefits to giving away his assets. Zhao Qibing promised to help him become the vice chairman of Donghai Chamber of Commerce, and he also promised to help him manage some other businesses. So, the food and beverage businesses in his hands weren't essential anymore. Hidden House Zhao? Lin Yi stopped and asked. Actually, when Lin Yi heard Guangxi's name, he thought of Zhao Guang'er and Zhao Guangyin. The second generation of the Hidden House Zhao all had similar names. But Lin Yi was confused. Why wasn't Guangxi a practitioner? But when he heard that he was Zhao Fafa's father, Lin Yi understood. He was Zhao Guangyin's distant relative. Although he was also called Zhao Guangmo, this, had nothing to do with the second generation of House Zhao. It was just a coincidence. As for Zhao Fafa, Lin Yi had some impression of him, but not much. He didn't think too much about it. Chapter 23:45. Oh. Lin Yi didn't expect Qibing to react this quickly. He smiled. Uncle Chu, just accept it. Since it's a gift from Zhao Qibing, there's no reason for us not to accept it. Peng Zhan's heart skipped a beat. He didn't think that Lin Yi and Han Xiaopa's joke would be taken seriously by Qibing, and he'd done it this quickly. Peng Zhan didn't know how big the Guangxi group was, since he wasn't a local businessman. He hadn't investigated Guangxi before, but the value of this Northern Ice Ocean seafood restaurant was not to be underestimated. If he could take over this business, Peng Zhan Industries' entry into Donghai would be even smoother. Peng Zhan took in a deep breath and walked over excitedly. He looked at the documents Guangxi handed him, discovering that the land of the Northern Ice Ocean seafood restaurant was Guangxi's as well. The value of this place was even more immeasurable. What a huge investment. Peng Zhan sighed to himself as he looked at Lin Yi's nonchalant face, as well as Han Xiaopa's nonchalant face. He'd underestimated Peng Zhan's worldview, and Lin Yi probably wouldn't even be interested in this amount of money. And he'd even thought of using Peng Zhan Industries as Meng Yao's dowry. But it seemed like Lin Yi didn't care about it at all. Peng Zhan sighed at the thought. He took over Guangxi's restaurant group under Guangxi's fearful expression. Phew. Guangxi let out a sigh of relief when he saw Peng Zhan accepting his gift. It was hard to give gifts these days, let alone something as expensive as this. But he had no choice. Even Master Bing was afraid of him, someone who could cripple Elder Bai with one move. Who was Guangxi? What virtue or ability did he have to contend against him? Chairman Chu, there's a meeting at Donghai Chamber of Commerce this afternoon, should we go together? Guangxi asked carefully. Master Bing asked me to be the vice chairman, and I'll do my best to support you. Chairman? Me? Peng Zhan paused, not sure if he should laugh or cry. A few hours ago, Donghai Chamber of Commerce was attacking him with everything they had, and a few hours later, he'd become the chairman of Donghai Chamber of Commerce. Sometimes, the matter of time was incomparably magical. The young miss was also a little surprised, but she was more happy and proud. Lin Yi was different. It was as if Lin Yi was one of her people. But, was he? Meng Yao was confused. If it was in the past, she could say without hesitation that Lin Yi was her man and he was her follower. So what? But now, she couldn't say it. She was too embarrassed to say it. Lin Yi was no longer her follower. He said that they were good friends. How good is a good friend? Lifelong friends? Never leave the villa? The eldest miss was a little worried and regretful. Peng Zhan was, after all, an influential figure in Songshan's business world. It didn't take long for him to get used to the situation. Alright, I'll have to trouble you to introduce me to Mr. Zhao. Well said, well said. Zhao Guangxi's face bloomed like a flower, like an old chrysanthemum. Right, it's time for you to change the manager. Han Xiaopa was a vengeful person. He felt wronged when he saw the manager's pale face. He was the young master of the hidden house Han, and he didn't even know him. What's more, he caused so much trouble. It wasn't the first time Han Xiaopa came to the Northern Ice seafood restaurant. Wasn't he treated like a VIP every time he came? Why did he have to meet someone like this today? Ugh. The lobby manager really wanted to cry but had no tears. He was a distant relative of Zhao Guangxi. It wasn't easy for him to become the lobby manager. In the end, he was fired after only a few days of being in office. Ugh, what ugh, Master Han told you to scram. Why aren't you scramming? Zhao Guangxi said angrily. The lobby manager pulled a long face and left the room. He thought to himself, what does this have to do with me? I'm just following your instructions. In the afternoon, Peng Zhan, Faubert, and Zhao Guangxi went to deal with the business in Donghai. Lin Yi, on the other hand, drove the Miss, Shu, and Grandma's son home. Han Xiaopa, on the other hand, returned to the hidden house alone, preparing to help Lin Yi find out about the Sky Elixir School's test. Hidden House Zhao. Zhao Qibing, Zhao Guangyin, and Lei Daming stood in front of a yard with pale faces, anxiously waiting for the results. Elder Bai was usually in charge of this yard, but today, he was lying on a bed in one of the rooms, being treated by Elder Zhao and Yao Wang. How is it? Elder Zhao asked with a sad face. Basically, he's crippled. Yao Wang sighed helplessly. His life can be saved, but his strength can't be recovered. Even with the circulation pill and meridian opening elixir, his strength can only stay at golden class, mystic class at most. Sigh. Elder Zhao sighed. At the same time, he was puzzled. Just who was strong enough to injure Elder Bai? Because he was worried about Elder Bai's injuries, he didn't have time to ask what had happened. Qibing and Lei Daming didn't have time to ask, is there no other way? Unless he uses the third-level pill, the Great Recovery Pill. Yao Wang said. But that's not really a solution, because the third-level pill, the Great Recovery Pill, isn't something we can think of. It's as precious as the Qi-gathering pill, Qitan. Old Zhao suddenly thought of the Sky Elixir test that Qikuan was about to partake in, and his eyes lit up. If Qikuan can pass the test, then a third-level pill wouldn't be a problem. That's true, but passing the Heavenly Elixir Gates trial is basically harder than reaching the heavens. Zhao Yaowang also knew some inside information, so he smiled bitterly and said, many people want to pass the trial, but they basically never return. Sending Qitan to the test was actually to get rid of him, wasn't it? Old Master Zhao nodded silently. Yes, how could the trial of the Heavenly Elixir sect be so easy to pass? If it were that easy, then the third-level pill wouldn't be worth much. No matter what, this is our last hope. Elder Zhao sighed. Let's stabilize Elder Bai's condition first. I'll go ask, just who was strong enough to injure Elder Bai. Yes. Yao Wang nodded. Elder Zhao, on the other hand, walked out of the yard with a dark face. He looked at Guangyin, Qibing, and Lei Daming, and asked in a low voice. What happened? Chapter 2346. Although he didn't think that it was his fault, Elder Bai's injuries were very serious, so he was still very worried. Haze. Old Zhao sighed, shock flashing in his eyes. Lin Yi. Is he really that strong? Just how strong is he? Did he level up again? No, he's still an Earth-class mid-phase. Zhao Qibing shook his head and said with certainty. He was a practitioner as well, and when Lin Yi attacked, he saw Lin Yi's strength clearly. He was indeed an Earth-class mid-phase. Earth-class mid-phase. No wonder he said that he had the strength to fight a Sky class. He wasn't bragging. Old Zhao's body was covered in a cold sweat. If it weren't for Elder Yu, he would have gone after Lin Yi after the meeting ended. From the looks of it, it was fine for them to work together, but they all had their own agendas and wouldn't use their full strength. If that happened, they'd be the unlucky ones. Yeah, Grandpa, I didn't know it was Lin Yi. Zhao Qibing said bitterly. This isn't your fault, Old Zhao sighed. Old Master Zhao sighed. He wasn't an unreasonable person. When Lei Daming helped the Zhao family make money in East Ocean City and got into trouble, the Zhao family naturally had to support him. However, he didn't expect that Han Xiaopa would become a follower of the Zhao family instead of helping the outsiders. Lin Yi was in the room, so Han Xiaopa's appearance wasn't anything strange. They just placed Han Xiaopa in the wrong place, which led to the current situation. Master. I was wrong. Lei Daming knew that he was the cause of this, and if old Zhao didn't blame Zhao Qibing, would it mean that he was the one to blame? And so, Lei Daming knelt on the ground with a thud. Lei Daming, you get up. This isn't your fault, but you have offended Lin Yi. It's not suitable for you to mingle in Donghai City anymore. Old Master Zhao waved his hand and said, I will arrange for you to go to the nearby Jiduan city. It is a small city without many family forces. After you go there, use the name of our Zhao family to develop well. Thank you, Elder Zhao. Lei Daming was both surprised and happy. Although going to a remote small city was tantamount to being banished by the Zhao clan, he was not held accountable. This was already a great blessing. This made Lei Daming immediately heave a sigh of relief. Qibing, Guanyin, you guys stop for a while. As for that seafood restaurant, if Lin Yi wants it, just give it to him. Old man Zhao said lightly, if Lin Yi continues to cause trouble like this, sooner or later, someone will find him an eyesore and come to deal with him. In our hidden Zhao family, I am the only heaven-ranked expert. My realm is not stable yet. Try not to clash with him. I understand. Qibing and Guanyin replied quickly. Let's spread the news that Lin Yi injured Elder Bai in one move, and let the hidden houses feel a sense of danger. Once they realize that something's wrong, they'll attack him. Elder Zhao wanted to use someone else to do his dirty work. Yes. Guanyin nodded. Old man Zhao didn't say anything else. He turned and walked to Qikuan's room. Whether or not Elder Bai could recover depended on Qikuan. Old man Zhao pushed the door open and walked in. Qikuan's room was guarded, but old man Zhao was the head of the hidden house, so he could go in and out. Guanyin, on the other hand, didn't have that power. Grandpa. Qikuan stood up abruptly from his chair and turned around, looking at old man Zhao with excitement and reluctance in his eyes. Seeing his grandson's eyes, old man Zhao's heart ached. Qibing had done the most for the house, and he was Guanyin's son, but Qikuan was still his grandson. Qikuan's father had died young, and Qikuan's position in the house wasn't high. His strength had always been ahead, and he had participated in the Ice Palace's test. But because of that, he had become Qibing's obstacle. It would be a lie to say that Qikuan had no ambition. A soldier who didn't want to be a general wasn't a good soldier. He, Qikuan, dreamed of becoming the head of the hidden house. Before Qibing's appearance, he didn't have a high position in the house, but with his exceptional strength, he had entered the eyes of Elder Zhao. Most importantly, one of the core members of the house, Elder Bai, hadn't expressed his support for any of the third generation. Guangin's son was very mischievous, and old man Zhao didn't like him. Elder Bai's disgust was written all over his face. If it weren't for the fact that he was Yu Xiaojin's son, old man Zhao would never have chosen him as the heir. So, Qikuan still had a chance. But Qibing's appearance had broken the balance. A bastard son who did all sorts of evil things had somehow gotten the support of old man Zhao and Elder Bai. How could Qikuan accept this? Why? Losing to Guangin's son was something he could accept, but losing to Qibing? He couldn't accept it. Haze. Old Zhao sighed. In fact, he had a certain level of understanding of Qibing's capabilities after all this time. He was starting to feel disappointed, but Qibing was the hero of House Zhao, he had to keep his word. Qikuan, on the other hand, had no support in House Zhao. Old man Zhao believed that unless Qikuan was as strong as him or Elder Bai, even if he became the heir, he wouldn't be able to control the situation. House Zhao would fall apart, and the consequences would be even worse. Grandpa, I know that me contacting Lin Yi is a big taboo for House Zhao. Lin Yi is House Zhao's enemy, I should be fighting against him. Qikuan smiled bitterly before continuing, but Grandpa, I can't accept this, Qibing, what right does he have? Someone whose legs Lin Yi broke countless times, how can he be the heir of House Zhao? Qikuan, there are some things you don't know. Old man Zhao sighed, the reason why I could break through to Sky Class was because of the Qi gathering pill Qibing brought back. One could say that Qibing is a huge project for House Zhao. Breaking through to Sky Class means an unlimited extension of my lifespan, and this means a lot to House Zhao, so I have to support Qibing. Even if he's weak, I have to do this, I can't disappoint the disciples who work for House Zhao. What? Qikuan's eyes widened in disbelief, Zhao Qibing? He brought a Qi gathering pill? Chapter 2347. That's right. Old Zhao nodded. He knew that this was a little unfair to Qikuan, but that was just how things were. As the head of the house, he had to look out for the interests of the house, and he had to be fair. He couldn't let the members of the house think that it was unfair. So he didn't hide anything and told Qikuan about how Qibing got the Qi gathering pill from the hidden house Yu. Qikuan heard the old man's words and went silent. The dissatisfaction and confusion in his heart vanished in an instant, and he could only sigh at Qibing's luck. Yes, with Qibing's achievements, how could he compete with him? Qikuan smiled bitterly, I understand now, so that's how it is. Ha! It seems like no matter how hard I work, I won't be able to become the head of the house, it's good that you understand. Old Zhao nodded, if you keep working with Lin Yi, you'll die. But that Lin Yi kid, he's been asking about you recently. It seems like he trusts you quite a bit. You'll let me go if I don't go to Lin Yi? When Qibing grows up, I'll be the first one he'll target, won't he? Qikuan shook his head, seeing everything clearly. Grandpa, I know you don't like me, because my mom was a village girl. My dad died young because of my mom, and now you're putting all that hate on me and my mom. My mom was kicked back to the village by you, and I, in House Zhao, if it weren't for my hard work, I'd have lost my position a long time ago, wouldn't I? Old Zhao's face changed. Qikuan's words hit him squarely. Qikuan was his grandson, but because of everything that had happened before, he didn't really like him. I was right, wasn't I? Qikuan smiled, at first, I thought that with my hard work, I could change your mind and accept me, but ever since Qibing appeared, I realized that it was impossible. I didn't want to accept Lin Yi as my boss, because he's really strong, and I wanted a backer to take back everything that belonged to me. Don't be stubborn. Old Master Zhao sighed and said. Stubborn? So what? Grandpa, tell me the truth, are you here to kill me? Qikuan asked faintly, as if he had already expected this result. Your life and death are in your own hands. Old Master Zhao said, if you die in the trial of the Heavenly Elixir sect, you will die. If you don't die and get the Heavenly Elixir sect's reward, I can promise you that you'll become someone like Elder Bai or Elder Xie of the Zhao family. The trial of the Heavenly Elixir sect? Do you think I can come back? Qikuan heard the words and was extremely disappointed. All these years, there have been people from hidden houses, sects, and even ancient sects and ancient houses, as well as foreign powers. But every time, how many come back alive? That's why I said, life and death are in your hands. Old Man Zhao said, before, Guangin's suggestion was to kill you. Ha! If I remember correctly, the winner of the Sky Elixir School's test will be rewarded with a 3rd-level elixir, and the Qi Gathering Pill is a 3rd-level elixir. If I take it back, then why would I still be under Zhao Qibing and be an elder? Qikuan raised his head. It's the same level 3 pill, but he, a bastard, can become the heir, and I, a child born and raised in House Zhao, can only be an elder? Elder Bai's injured, and he needs a Dahuan pill. You go, not for the Qi Gathering Pill. Old Zhao sighed. Ha! Is there a difference? Qikuan was very disappointed in old Zhao. It's the same level 3 pill, it's not that I don't want the Qi Gathering Pill, it's you who told me to get the Dahuan pill. The matter has been decided, you can make your own choice. Old Man Zhao said. Ha! Qikuan's eyes flashed with viciousness. He was his own grandfather, he didn't even care about him as much as Lin Yi, a boss who wasn't related to him. He knew that Lin Yi wasn't looking for information on House Zhao, but to fulfill the benefits he gave him, or to realize that he couldn't contact him anymore. That was why Lin Yi was acting like this. With that thought, Qikuan accepted it and said faintly, all right, I'll participate. Old Zhao nodded and walked out of the room, but a strange light flashed in his eyes. Lin Yi had to die. With him here, Qikuan might be able to make a comeback. He could see the decision in Qikuan's eyes. And so, after leaving Qikuan's room, old Zhao called old Yu of the hidden house Yu. Kissing Chen. This was the first phone call old Master Zhao made after the two families fell out. Humph, old Zhao, you still have the nerve to call? Old Yu humphed coldly, but it had been a while now, and his anger had mostly dissipated. He didn't hang up right away. Elder Yu, that's in the past. If we keep fighting, wouldn't we be a joke? Plus, we, the hidden house Zhao, didn't take it. Yu Huoxing was the one who gave it to us. If it were your hidden house Yu, wouldn't you take it? Old Zhao asked. Humph, Elder Yu humphed, but he understood that House Yu would have to do the same thing if it was their turn. Tell me, what's your purpose in calling me? Elder Yu asked. What's your purpose? Elder Bai was crippled, one move. Old Zhao said. Elder Bai? Was he crippled by someone? Old Yu paused. I say, Old Zhao, you're not saying this because you want us to avenge you, are you? What does this have to do with us? The one who injured Elder Bai was Lin Yi. Old Zhao continued. Lin Yi? Elder Yu frowned and went into deep thought. His heart was in turmoil. He had to admit that Lin Yi was strong, but he didn't expect him to be this strong, able to cripple Elder Bai with one move. Elder Bai was an Earth-class late-phase peak, only half a step away from Sky-class. How could someone like that be crippled by Lin Yi with one move? Thinking about how strong Lin Yi was, old Yu felt conflicted. On one hand, he wanted to see if he could rope Lin Yi in and use Lin Yi to soar. On the other hand, he thought about the place behind him, keeping Yu Ning a virgin and accepting a very important position. He knew that this was a dead end. Chapter 2348. Most importantly, Yu Ning couldn't be with Lin Yi anymore. By that time, Lin Yi would definitely become House Yu's enemy. Thinking of this, Elder Yu was a little depressed. Last time at the Hidden House Summit, it was a great opportunity to kill Lin Yi, but now that he lost it, it wouldn't be that easy to kill Lin Yi anymore. Elder Yu, I know a thing or two about Lin Yi and your House Yu. With Yu Ning here, your House Yu and Lin Yi will have to fight. Elder Zhao said, some things can't be avoided. For his woman, Lin Yi destroyed Qibing's skyscraper, broke Qibing's legs, and for his woman, he went to the Ice Palace to ask for medicine. For his men, how many people did Lin Yi kill? Unless you give Yu Ning to him, otherwise, your House Yu will become Lin Yi's enemy. Elder Zhao and Elder Yu were in-laws, and he knew a lot of things about House Yu. For example, the relationship between Lin Yi and Yu Ning. Others didn't know, but Elder Zhao knew. What do you mean? You want to use our Hidden House Yu to avenge your Hidden House Zhao? As much as Elder Yu thought about it, he still felt that getting rid of Lin Yi was more important, but he still couldn't make up his mind. Especially after knowing that the Qi gathering pill was taken by House Zhao, Elder Yu didn't hate Lin Yi as much as before. To kill him or not to kill him, it's up to you, Elder Yu. I won't say anything else. Elder Zhao was a smart man, and he knew that some things should be stopped. Alright, I won't disturb Elder Yu's rest anymore. One word, one should make a decision. Elder Yu put down the phone and fell into deep contemplation. It wasn't that he hadn't thought about killing Lin Yi before, it wasn't that he hadn't tried it before, but it never worked. As he was thinking, the phone rang again, and Elder Yu thought that it was still Elder Zhao, but when he saw the number on the phone, his eyes narrowed and his pupils dilated. He picked up the phone quickly and said carefully, "Hello, I'm the head of House Yu, Yu Xing, alright, rainy day. Master asked me to inform you that the original plan is temporarily cancelled." The person on the other side of the phone didn't show any respect just because it was Elder Yu who answered the phone. Instead, he spoke in a commanding tone. "Cancel? Elder Yu paused, confused. What plan? It means that the matter of letting Yu Ning participate in the Heavenly Elixir sex trial has been cancelled. The other party saw that Elder Yu didn't react, so he said directly. Cancelled? Didn't they say that he would pass this trial and receive the inheritance? Why is it cancelled again? Elder Yu's heart skipped a beat. This was a big chance for House Yu to rise up. As long as Yu Ning accepted the water inheritance and became the inheritor, House Yu would become a family that could rise up to the heavens. Their status would definitely surpass the hidden houses, and it would only be a matter of time before they became an ancient house. But now, the person from that place called and said that the plan was cancelled. How could Elder Yu accept this? If it were any other time, Elder Yu wouldn't dare ask about it, and he would do whatever the person from that place told him to do. But this time was different. This was related to the rise of House Yu. This was a big plan that had been planned since Elder Yu's father's generation, when he failed to pass down the inheritance. How could it be cancelled just like that? Because of the sudden change in the plan. The trial this time is too dangerous, and Yu Ning has other arrangements. She can't take the risk to accept the inheritance, and the inheritor this time is someone else. The person on the other side of the phone hesitated and explained. After all, they had a relationship with House Zai for decades, ever since Elder Yu's father brought the young Elder Yu to travel around the world, and they had a relationship with each other. It could be said that the hidden House Yu was their representative in the hidden world. Water inheritor as well? Elder Yu froze, and his heart was bleeding. No, the person said clearly, don't think too much, it's different from normal water inheritors. I can only tell you the general plan, and it's not good for you to know too much about it. Yu Ning's matter has other arrangements, and Master has already found a way to explore the endless West Sea, where the ancient water inheritance originated from. We are preparing to send Yu Ning there. Since it's not a water inheritance, why would they give up on what's close at hand? There's no conflict. Elder Yu breathed a sigh of relief, but at the same time, he was confused. Because of some unexpected events, the rules of this trial have been changed. The person didn't hide anything. The other party didn't hide anything. This time, the trial conditions have been changed from mystic rank to earth rank. There's no upper limit. What? Mystic and above with no upper limit? If an earth class and above went there, wouldn't they? Elder Yu was startled, jumping up in fright. Yu is fine, but there are some things that you need to understand, don't tell anyone else. The person said with a warning tone, you should understand now, we didn't let Ning come for her safety. This trial is too dangerous, and if she comes here with her strength, she will die for sure. And this trial is for something else, and Ning is very important, so it's better to go to the endless West Sea. I understand. Elder Yu was shocked, but he suppressed his doubts and nodded, I know what to do. And, protect Ning and Yu, don't let anything happen to them. The person warned, also, Master specifically told you to keep your virginity. You can't lose your virginity, or else, you know the consequences. Yes. Please don't worry, Elder Tianqing will not let you down. Elder Yu said in fear. Alright, that's all. The person hung up the phone. Elder Yu, on the other hand, was holding onto the phone, unable to calm down for a long time. House Yu almost missed the opportunity to rise, but now it seemed like the result was good. Since Elder Xianchen reminded him to keep Ning a virgin, it meant that they still needed Ning, and they needed to go to the even more powerful source of water, the endless West Sea, to receive the inheritance. Thinking of this, Elder Yu let out a sigh of relief. Chapter 2349. This call made old Yu experience the complicated feelings of losing and regaining, so he made up his mind to get rid of all unstable factors. He couldn't let Lin Yi hinder the rise of House Yu. If Lin Yi really took Ning away, then it would be too late for regrets, that place. The Xianchen ancestor's face was a bit gloomy as he quietly looked at Tagan Long, who was lying on the bed with his eyes closed. His emotions were very complicated and irritated. Master. A voice broke the silence. Xiao Yi, you're back. The Xianchen ancestor raised his head and asked faintly, how's it going? The backup plan is ready to be executed. The Sky Elixir sect has already talked to Tiandi and changed the rules of the test, Xiao Yi said calmly. Little Yi said calmly, as for the hidden House Yu, I'll inform you of Master's intentions. Okay. The Xianchen ancestor nodded, once the backup plan is activated, we'll have to waste a lot of energy and effort, and we might not be able to succeed. Is there any news on the culprit who injured Tagan Long? We can confirm that it's not Zhang Naipeo. Xiao Yi said, first, the everyday sect doesn't need to lie to us, we're in a cooperative relationship. Second, Zhang Naipeo's practitioners' arts aren't focused on hurting people, but on absorbing qi. Forget it, let's put this aside for now. Patriarch Xianchen also knew that the possibility of finding the culprit wasn't high, especially since he didn't know which country the culprit was from. It was even more difficult. Therefore, Patriarch Xianchen continued, focus on the backup plan for now. Then regarding Tagan Long's recovery, Xiao Yi asked. His injuries are too heavy, and third-level pills are useless. He doesn't have any strength or skills for now. When your master comes out, I'll think of a way with him. The Xianchen ancestor said. Yes, master. Xiao Yi nodded. Zhao Qibing didn't expect to receive a call from Han Xiaopa. However, he didn't dare to reject Han Xiaopa's call. He'd just offended Lin Yi today. Who knew if Han Xiaopa's call was on behalf of Lin Yi? So Zhao Qibing didn't dare to delay at all. He picked up the phone carefully, Master Pa, why did you call your little brother? Master Bing, do you have time? Do you want to come out for a cup of coffee and chat? Han Xiaopa asked directly. Young Master Pa, it's so late. What's the matter? Zhao Qibing paused. He didn't know why Han Xiaopa was looking for him, but it wasn't to treat him to coffee. You'll know when you get here. I just want to talk to you about the trial of the Heavenly Elixir sect, Han Xiaopa said. Of course, this is what Boss Lin Yi wants. Oh, okay. Tell me the location. I'll go there right now. Qibing breathed out in relief after hearing Han Xiaopa's words. It was fine as long as he wasn't looking for trouble. As for understanding the Sky Elixir School's test, that wasn't a problem. Qibing knew that Lin Yi had participated in the Ice Palace's test before, and had passed it without a hitch, so it made sense that Lin Yi would be interested in it. But the Hidden House Han hadn't participated in the Sky Elixir sect's test before, so naturally, he had to find the Hidden House Zhao to understand the situation. In fact, Zhao Qibing hadn't participated in it before, but because he had to send Zhao Qikuan there, he had asked Elder Bai and Guanyin about the Sky Elixir sect's test a few days ago, so he was quite confident in answering Han Xiaopa and Lin Yi's questions. Alright, I'll see you in half an hour at Dazzling Coffee Shop, Han Xiaopa said. No problem, Zhao Qibing replied. After hanging up, Zhao Qibing told his grandpa that he was leaving the Hidden House Zhao. Old Zhao didn't have any qualms about Zhao Qibing going to see Han Xiaopa. At a time like this, it was best not to piss off Han Xiaopa and Lin Yi. At least, the Hidden House Zhao didn't have the confidence to deal with Lin Yi at the moment. He didn't know what the Hidden House Yu was thinking, but old Zhao wouldn't provoke Lin Yi unless he had the confidence to win. Half an hour later, at the entrance of Dazzling Coffee Shop, Zhao Qibing saw Han Xiaopa's Mercedes-Benz C. He was driving a Porsche Cayenne. It was a new one, too. He'd given the previous one to Lin Yi. Master Pa, sorry to keep you waiting. Zhao Qibing did a good job on the surface. I've just arrived as well, Master Bing, please, Han Xiaopa nodded to him. The two entered the coffee shop, and a waiter came to greet them. No one here knew who these two young masters of the Hidden House Han and House Zhao were, but judging from the Mercedes-Benz and Porsche, they weren't normal people, so the waiter didn't dare to be rude. A private room, Han Xiaopa said to the waiter. Alright, please follow me. The waiter has arranged a private room for Han Xiaopa and Zhao Qibing. Han Xiaopa, on the other hand, ordered some random things and passed the menu to Zhao Qibing. Just the same as him, Zhao Qibing didn't come here to drink coffee, he didn't care what to drink. The waiter quickly brought their drinks, and after the waiter left, Han Xiaopa spoke up, Master Bing, boss told me to come here for two things, one is about the Sky Elixir School's test, and the other is about Zhao Qikuan. Zhao Qikuan? Zhao Qibing's eyes froze. He didn't expect this question from Han Xiaopa, but then he remembered that Zhao Qikuan had already exposed his relationship with Lin Yi, and when Lin Yi asked him about it, his panicked expression told Lin Yi that something was up. That's right, do you know where he is now, Master Bing? I want to talk to him, but I can't get in touch with him, Han Xiaopa nodded. Gu Master Pa, Qikuan's matter involves my family, so I can't make the decision. How about this, I'll give Grandpa a call and ask about it, and then I'll get back to you, is that alright? Zhao Qibing thought about it and said. Sure. Han Xiaopa answered quickly. Zhao Qibing nodded and smiled gratefully. He walked to the end of the corridor and quickly dialed his grandpa's number. Qibing, how is it? Did you see Han Xiaopa? What did he say to you? Old Zhao saw that it was Zhao Qibing calling and quickly picked it up. Chapter 2350. I see. Han Xiaopa nodded, thinking that Qibing's words made sense, but it was a little weird. Plus, Grandpa is the head of the house, how could he participate? My father is the young master of the house, naturally, he can't go himself. Qibing said, seeing that Han Xiaopa didn't believe him. We were planning on letting Elder Bai go with Zhao Qikuan, but unfortunately, Elder Bai was injured by Lin Yi boss, and he missed the chance to participate in the Sky Elixir School. It's a huge loss for us, House Zhao. I see. This time, Han Xiaopa believed Qibing's words. If Elder Bai went, then it would be normal. He didn't believe that House Zhao would let go of a chance to get a third-level elixir. Otherwise, the hidden House Zhao wouldn't have become enemies with the hidden House Yu just because of a third-level qi-gathering pill. Yeah, that's basically all I know. This isn't on the list, Qibing said. As for the rest, I don't know. After all, it's not easy to get this much information. Alright, thank you, Master Bing. Han Xiaopa got the answer he wanted, and he wasn't in the mood to drink coffees, he needed to report to Lin Yi. You're welcome, Qibing waved his hand. Right, Lin Yi boss is participating in the Sky Elixir School's test. Should be, Han Xiaopa didn't deny it. Oh. If that's the case, if Boss Lin Yi could help us take care of Qikuan during the test, we'd be eternally grateful. Qibing said after thinking for a bit. His intentions were very sinister. Zhao Qikuan was very weak, he was only mystic, not even earth class. If Lin Yi brought him along, it'd be very dangerous. Even if Lin Yi had the chance to complete the test, he'd be dragged to death by Zhao Qikuan. I'll talk to the boss. As for whether he agrees or not, I can't make the decision. Han Xiaopa naturally couldn't agree directly. Then I'll trouble you, Master Pa. Qibing was very happy. With Lin Yi's personality, there was no way he'd abandon his follower, especially after knowing that his follower was imprisoned and sent to the Sky Elixir School test. Lin Yi definitely wouldn't give up on helping Zhao Qikuan. I'm done, I'll be on my way. Han Xiaopa nodded and put down his empty cup. As for helping Zhao Qikuan, I'll talk to the boss about it. But if you guys from the hidden House Zhao want to help, you'd better give us something in return. The boss won't be doing this for free. Qibing knew that Lin Yi was good at blackmailing people, so he didn't mind using this opportunity. Lin Yi was definitely helping Qikuan, but as far as he was concerned, House Zhao didn't know that Qikuan was Lin Yi's follower. Zhao Qibing was taken aback. Motherfucker, you're helping your follower, and you still care about our hidden House Zhao? We can't wait for Qikuan to die. But he couldn't show his displeasure right now. He didn't want Han Xiaopa to know that House Zhao already knew about the relationship between Zhao Qikuan and Lin Yi. What if Lin Yi came to get him? Then wouldn't the plan be ruined? With that in mind, Qibing could only say, of course, I'll tell Grandpa about this. After seeing Han Xiaopa, Qibing immediately went back to the hidden house and told his grandpa about the conversation he had with Han Xiaopa, not leaving out a single word. Woo! Qibing, you did well, killing with a borrowed knife. Old Zhao nodded, but his brows were slightly furrowed. He was thinking much more than Zhao Qibing, much further than Zhao Qibing. Therefore, he also saw the drawbacks in this matter. But, oh? Grandpa, what's wrong? Is there any harm in this? Qibing paused. Guanyin, what do you think? Old Master Zhao turned to look at Guanyin and asked. Father, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Qibing is very quick-witted, using a borrowed knife to kill Lin Yi and Zhao Qikuan. Guanyin didn't think there was anything wrong with Qibing's plan. This way, the two unstable factors of House Zhao were removed. It was killing two birds with one stone. Sigh. Old Zhao sighed as he looked at Zhao Guanyin and Zhao Qibing. He felt a little regretful. The hidden House Zhao really couldn't survive from Zhao Guanyin's generation. Although the plan wasn't a big problem, and it was a good thing from a normal point of view, but from another point of view, it was an unstable factor. Seeing that the father and son were confused, old Zhao could only say it himself. Lin Yi participating in the Sky Elixir sex test might be sending Zhao Qikuan to his death, but from another point of view, Lin Yi participating in the Sky Elixir sex test not only would he not die, but he could even protect Zhao Qikuan? This isn't impossible, because Lin Yi's strength is there for all to see. Wah! Guanyin and Qibing froze, finally understanding what old Zhao was worried about. Indeed, they didn't think of this possibility. Because they were analyzing the situation according to the previous Sky Elixir sect tests. After all, most of the participants never returned, and only a small number of them could pass the test and get the rewards. There were even cases where all the participants were wiped out. As far as they were concerned, with Lin Yi and Qikuan going, with Zhao Qikuan dragging Lin Yi down, there was no doubt that Lin Yi would die. But, they had overlooked one important point: Lin Yi's strength. Lin Yi was an Earth-class mid-phase, but he wasn't a normal Earth-class mid-phase. He was someone who could kill Earth-class late-phase peak in one hit. Elder Bai, who was half a step into Sky class, was crippled by Lin Yi in one move, unable to fight back at all. What kind of strength was that? That's right, Qibing, your grandpa was right. The two of us had overlooked the most important point: this year's test doesn't have a strength restriction like the previous ones. As long as you're mystic and above, you can participate. As an Earth-class mid-phase, Lin Yi has a high chance of passing the test, and with Zhao Qikuan's relationship with Lin Yi, he might be protected by Lin Yi to pass the test. Guanyin nodded in agreement. Chapter 2351. It's not too late to make amends. Plus, as strong as Lin Yi is, he might not be able to pass the test. Old Zhao waved his hand and smiled. According to my deductions, Lin Yi isn't weak, but the Sky Elixir sect has a lot of masters. If they sent their masters, wouldn't they be stronger than Lin Yi? If they sent their own masters to collect the items themselves, wouldn't that be easier? Why would they waste so much and use a third-level pill as a reward? That's true, then why? Guanyin nodded, confused. I think it's because in the test, one's strength is negligible. The danger they face isn't determined by strength. For example, in front of a legendary heavenly Tao master, mystic, earth, and even sky classes, in their eyes, they're all ants. Old Zhao said. So, I think that as long as there's danger in the test, no matter how strong you are, you won't be able to escape. Those who escape by luck, it's not because they're strong, but because they're lucky. That's my deduction. That makes sense. Zhao Guanyin nodded. No wonder they limited the number of participants to between Mystic class and Earth class. I'm afraid it's because even the most powerful trial takers wouldn't be of much use. This year, the Heavenly Elixir sect lifted the limit, probably because they really need this kind of thing, so they had to increase the number of participants. Yes, so Lin Yi and Qikuan might very well die together. Old Zhao said. But it's better to be safe than sorry. What if they come back? Zhao Qikuan gets the third-level pill, and I promised him that he could become an elder of the house. This would be a threat to Qibing's position. If I'm alive, I can keep it under control, but there's the possibility that after 100 years, Zhao Qikuan's strength will increase by leaps and bounds with Lin Yi's help. At that point, Qibing would be in danger. Then what do we do? Qibing's face changed. If Zhao Qikuan really came back, then his position in the house would skyrocket. His position would be threatened. So, before that, we have to do something, Old Zhao said. Old Zhao said. If we can kill Lin Yi before the test, then Zhao Qikuan will die for sure. Before the trial? Kill Lin Yi? How could that be? If our Zhao family had that kind of power, we would have made a move long ago. Why would we wait until now? Zhao Guanyin asked curiously. Is Grandpa going to do it himself? Qibing paused. I naturally won't make a move. Old Master Zhao shook his head. Is that the hidden house you? Right, is the hidden house you about to make a move? Guanyin sighed and thought of this possibility. I did call Elder Yu, but his attitude was ambiguous. I don't know what he wants. I don't think it's possible for him to help. Old Lord Zhao waved his hand and said, I'm talking about another person. Furthermore, it's also using a borrowed knife to kill. Actually, this was also inspired by elite armament. Although I received the news before and knew about this, I didn't think too deeply about it. But now, I've thought of a good method. Oh? Who's strong enough to kill Lin Yi? Guanyin was startled. He didn't expect such a strong person to exist. Southeast Asia's gambling king, Pu Huati. Old Zhao said. Southeast Asia's gambling king? What does he have to do with Lin Yi? Guanyin didn't understand what this person could do. Pu Huati has been invited to Donghai's biggest casino to fight against the gambling king Zhu Qi Shou from Harbor City. Of course, although he's the gambling king of Southeast Asia, he's also an ability user, and his combat ability is very high. No one knows exactly how strong he is, but what I do know is that he has an Earth-class late-phase peak as well as a dual practitioner bodyguard. With the two of them together, they should be able to beat Lin Yi. Old Zhao's eyes flashed as he spoke. Ugh. But he and Lin Yi don't have anything to do with each other. Guanyin was confused. If there is no intersection, we can create an intersection. Old Zhao said. As far as I know, this Pu Huati is a lecher. Every night, he must sleep with a virgin. She can't be too old, and she must be beautiful. He's very demanding. The brothels in Donghai can't satisfy his needs, then. Guanyin still didn't understand what Old Zhao meant. But Old Zhao continued. So, a few days before gambling king Zhu Qi Shou arrived, the person in charge of the casino, Gambling Bro, had been helping him find virgins to sleep with him at a high price. In the end, he had no choice but to kidnap them on the streets. But the first time he kidnapped them, they were targeted by the police. Not only did the kidnapping fail, but Gambling Bro's underlings were also arrested. You should know that the police have been cracking down on kidnapping cases recently. These unprofessional gangsters still dared to go against the law. They were asking for trouble. After the kidnapping failed, Pu Huati could only gamble with others in the casino every day. He forced his opponents who lost everything to use their daughters to pay off their debts, or directly forced them to use their daughters to bet. Of course, the advantage of this was that these gamblers could only accept their fate and didn't dare to call the police. But it was enough to see how lecherous Pu Huati was. He didn't even want the large sum of money he won in exchange for a night of pleasure. Then, how can we let Pu Huati and Lin Yi become enemies? Guanyin still didn't quite understand his father's meaning. It's time for that illegitimate daughter of yours to come in handy, old man Zhao said lightly. Illegitimate daughter? Mine? Guanyin was stunned. She. Isn't there another use for her, to give her to? I'm not asking you to give her to Pu Huati, but to use her as bait to cause a conflict between Lin Yi and Pu Huati. Old Zhao said with a wave of his hand. Find someone to pretend to be her father and bring her to the casino to lose to Pu Huati, then inform Lin Yi, I see. Guanyin nodded and said. But, will Lin Yi care? He doesn't seem to care, does he? Lin Yi doesn't care about other people, but people who are old friends with Lin Yi, he'll always care. Old Zhao smiled coldly. He'll even care about Zhao Qikuan, let alone Chen Shi. With the relationship between Lin Yi and Chen Shi, there's no way he won't care. Chapter 2352. Reminisce? Why would he want to reminisce with Zhao Qikuan? Does he know Zhao Qikuan? Old Zhao paused, frowning. I don't think so, but I feel like it's Lin Yi's intention. Qibing said. Last time, I crashed his car in front of the movie theater, and he asked me about Zhao Qikuan. I see. It seems like Lin Yi suspects that we're doing something to Zhao Qikuan. Old Zhao nodded, remembering what Qibing had said before. He didn't pay much attention to it, but now that he was connected to Han Xiaopa, he was in a difficult position. Yeah, if I tell him the truth, what if Lin Yi asks for him straight away? Qibing said worriedly. How about this, didn't Han Xiaopa ask you about the Sky Elixir School's test? This means that he's interested in the Sky Elixir test. Old Zhao was indeed a shrewd man, quickly coming up with a solution. This way, you tell him the truth, that Zhao Qikuan is going to represent our hidden house Zhao to participate in the Sky Elixir School's test, and that's why he's in seclusion and has no contact with the outside world. Oh. Qibing paused, understanding what his grandpa meant. This way, when Lin Yi hears that Zhao Qikuan is going to participate in the test, he'll be even more determined to go himself. This test is basically a one-way trip, and Lin Yi will die there. We've achieved our goal of killing him with a borrowed knife. Not bad, Qibing, you've become very smart now. Old man Zhao nodded in relief. This is also the reason why I sent you to see Han Xiaopa without any hesitation after hearing what you said just now. If Lin Yi wants to know about the Sky Elixir School's test, tell him more. It's best if he participates in the test and dies. I understand, Grandpa. I'll try my best to tell you more about the benefits of the test. Qibing quickly said after he thought it through. That won't do either. Han Xiaopa isn't a fool. Although the hidden Han family has never participated in the Heavenly Elixir Sex trial, they have heard about the dangers of the trial. You can't just say it's good. While you're saying it's good, you have to objectively explain the dangers. Of course, you can emphasize the benefits of the trial rewards of the Heavenly Elixir sect. Old Master Zhao reminded. Yes, Grandpa, I know what to do. Qibing nodded. He hung up and went back to his room to see Han Xiaopa sipping his coffee. How's it going, Master Bing? What's going on in your house? Han Xiaopa asked after Qibing came in. I didn't want to hide this from you, but actually, Zhao Qikuan and the Sky Elixir School's test are basically the same thing. Qibing said. The same thing? What do you mean? Han Xiaopa didn't understand. Grandpa has talked to Qikuan. He'll be representing our hidden house Zhao to participate in the Sky Elixir School's test. He's in seclusion right now, so it's normal that you can't contact him. Qibing said. I can't just say it without Grandpa's approval. Please forgive me, Master Pa. Zhao Qikuan? Participate in the Sky Elixir School's test. Han Xiaopa paused. He didn't expect this answer. This made him a little confused, but from the looks of it, it was most likely true. That's right. If it weren't for Master Pa asking, we wouldn't have said anything. After all, it's their own business. Qibing said. As for the Sky Elixir School's test, this is the situation. I won't talk about the things on the list, everyone knows about it. What I want to say is that the Heavenly Elixir School trial is a very dangerous trial. However, as for how dangerous it is, the trial takers who are lucky enough to complete the task have been ordered to keep their mouths shut. They don't dare to speak carelessly. We, the hidden Zhao family, didn't get much information, but we have some clues. Please speak. Han Xiaopa said quickly. It said that this test is about collecting a certain amount of things in a certain place. As long as you collect enough, you can exchange it with the Sky Elixir School. Qibing said. The rules are very clear. During the test, you can't kill each other, and you can't steal each other's things. If anyone breaks the rules, the result will be invalid, and you'll have to face the wrath of the entire Sky Elixir School. Oh. Han Xiaopa didn't think that the test would be like this. If they couldn't kill each other, then it should be pretty simple. Why did so many people never return? With that in mind, Han Xiaopa asked. Then, what if we do something in the dark and no one returns? The identity of the participants isn't public. Only the Sky Elixir sect knows about it, so there are always people from the Sky Elixir sect mixed in every batch. If they were to see it, then their family and sect would be in trouble. Qibing said. That's why it's almost impossible. I've also heard that the danger comes from the environment and the spirit beasts there, so everyone can't even protect themselves once they get there. Who would have the energy to fight among themselves? I heard that the things you need to collect aren't too hard, so there's no need for conflicts of interest. I see. Thank you, Master Bing. Han Xiaopa nodded. His understanding of the Sky Elixir School's test had deepened, but he was a little confused. But if that's the case, why don't the Sky Elixir School just send a few Sky class? Wouldn't the success rate be higher, and they wouldn't have to pay such a high price? I'm not sure about that. In the past, the test was limited to Mystic and Earth class, not including Earth class, Qibing said. But this time, the rules have been changed. As long as you're above Mystic class, it's not limited to Earth class. Oh? There was a rule like this before? Han Xiaopa hadn't really studied it before, only glancing through it briefly. He didn't compare the details. Wouldn't there be a higher chance of completing the mission if they sent a Sky class? Why don't you send someone more powerful to the hidden Zhao family? Chapter 2353. Of course, this cultivation vessel had to be given to an important person from an ancient sect at a crucial time in exchange for the right to participate in the hidden House Zhao's plan. I understand. Guangyi nodded. I'll arrange for someone to take Qinxi away, and then I'll appear myself to talk to her mother about this and have her call Lin Yi for help. Yes, that's it. Old Zhao nodded. Qinxi will be fine, but Lin Yi will be dead for sure. Even if he doesn't die, he'll be in trouble. Pu Huati's background is quite deep. His father is the second head of the #1 mafia in Southeast Asia, right Miaoman. If he dies, Lin Yi will be in endless trouble. What a good way to kill with a borrowed knife. Qibing laughed. Grandpa, you're the best. The older, the wiser. It seems like I need to learn more. Old Zhao nodded with a smile after hearing Qibing's words. The kid was worth teaching. After parting ways with Qibing, Han Xiaopa contacted Lin Yi immediately, relaying everything Qibing had said to him without missing a single word. Every term has a limit, only this term doesn't have it. Lin Yi frowned after hearing Qibing's words. What was the Heavenly Elixir sect doing? It was weird, but he didn't know what was weird about it either. If the test was dangerous, then wouldn't the higher the strength, the safer it would be? The higher the chance of leaving alive? Was it because the Sky Elixir School was in urgent need of that kind of stuff and had to relax the conditions, or was there some other reason? If it was the former, then couldn't they send their own masters? Why did they have to take out a third-level elixir and treasures of the same value in exchange? Wasn't that a bit too much of a waste? No, Zhao Qibing doesn't know the reason either. He even suspects that the Sky Elixir School was negligent, Han Xiaopa said. I see. Lin Yi nodded, but no matter what, the conditions had changed. This was beneficial to him. Otherwise, he would not be able to participate in the trial if he was still restricted like before. He was already an expert above the Earth rank. Yes, as for Zhao Qikuan, I've asked him, and this is what he said. Han Xiaopa said as he told Lin Yi where Zhao Qikuan went. Qitan is also participating in the Heavenly Elixir Sect's trial? Lin Yi was surprised. He didn't think that the hidden House Zhao would arrange things like this. Lin Yi didn't really believe that Qikuan wouldn't be able to contact the outside world, but this was most likely true. But it was very likely that Qikuan wasn't willing, he was forced. Perhaps they had already discovered Qikuan's ambition, and in order for Qibing to get the position smoothly, they locked him up, wanting to use this Sky Elixir School's test to get rid of Chikuin. Otherwise, Chikuin wouldn't be able to do anything before he went into seclusion. No matter what, they should have contacted him to inform him of the situation. It was impossible for there to be no movement at all. Yes, but Zhao Qibing said something else. If you participate in the trial, you can take care of Zhao Qikuan. Han Xiaopa said. Oh. Lin Yi paused, understanding what the hidden house Zhao and Zhao Qibing meant. Using a borrowed knife to kill someone. Not only did they know about Qikuan's ambition, but they also knew about his relationship with Qikuan. And so, not only did they want to get rid of Zhao Qikuan, but they also wanted to use the relationship between Lin Yi and Zhao Qikuan to get rid of Lin Yi as well. After all, the Heavenly Elixir sex trial was extremely dangerous. Most people didn't make it back, and if Lin Yi were to go and take care of a mystic, he might not even be able to protect himself. What do you say? Lin Yi asked Han Xiaopa after thinking it through. I said it. I asked you to take care of him, but you couldn't do it for free. You had to at least show some sincerity. He used the opportunity to ask for some benefits from the hidden house Zhao, and Zhao Qibing didn't reject it, Han Xiaopa said. Well done. Lin Yi smiled. Since I'm destined to take care of Zhao Qikuan, I'll take care of him. Then we might as well let the Zhao family spend a bit more. Yeah, boss. Should I participate in this trial as well? Han Xiaopa asked. It's too dangerous. Don't go. Lin Yi sighed. It's already hard enough for me to protect one Zhao Qikuan. If there's another, it'll be too much for me. I understand. I won't sign up then. Han Xiaopa knew that Lin Yi was telling the truth, but he was not angry. After all, the difference in strength between him and Lin Yi was like heaven and earth. I have a small qi gathering pill here. I forgot to give it to you today. If you need it, you can come and get it anytime. Lin Yi said. Huh, it's fine. My family doesn't need it right now. Han Xiaopa smiled, not caring. Lin Yi hung up and went into deep thought. One thing was for sure, this Sky Elixir sex trial was not simple. This was also why the hidden house Zhao wanted to use this trial to get rid of Zhao Qikuan. This test, however, was very important to Lin Yi. The Sky Elixir sect would definitely have the rainbow steel, blue crystal powder, and pure yellow jade. The Sky Elixir sect would definitely have the rainbow steel, and perhaps the other two materials as well. So Lin Yi had to go no matter what. Now that Qikuan was there, it gave Lin Yi more confidence. He couldn't just ignore Qikuan's business. Of course, if it weren't for the fact that Lin Yi wanted to get something from the trial, Lin Yi would have gone straight to House Zhao. With his current strength, even if he couldn't beat old Zhao, he could still escape with Qikuan. Although Lin Yi was confident that normal Earth-class late-phase peak masters were no match for him, there was always someone stronger. Even Tagan Long and the 5 Guardians could make Lin Yi lose. That was enough to explain everything. Even now, if Lin Yi were to face the 5 Guardians and Tagan Long again, he wouldn't be as weak as before. But he wouldn't be able to kill them easily. Plus, what about an unknown sky class? Chapter 2354. So when Lin Yi crippled Elder by this time, it was just to scare the hidden house of Zhao and make sure they didn't cause any trouble in Donghai. But to wipe them out in one fell swoop, Lin Yi didn't think the time was right. After all, Lin Yi's own strength was there for all to see. He was only a mid-earth class. If he wanted to kill old man Zhao, he needed to increase his strength a bit more. Speaking of strength, however, Lin Yi had been stuck at Earth class mid-stage for quite some time now. From the Hidden House Summit until now, Lin Yi's strength had long since stabilized and improved. Especially in the extreme battles with the 5th Protector, the Great Protector, Tagan Dragon, and the third Elder, Lin Yi had already reached the peak of Earth class mid-stage, but he was still a little bit away. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Without that straw, the camel would not have fallen. He hoped that he would be able to hug Xinyan and train for a while longer before the test, raising his strength to Earth class mid-phase peak. Even Lin Yi felt a little dirty at the thought. Hugging a girl to train didn't seem right no matter how he looked at it. Did he want to train more, or did he want to hug Xinyan more? Shaking his head, Lin Yi put this thought aside for the time being. He picked up the supplementary martial skill that he had copied in the hidden Han family, Spring Rain from the Heavens. He flipped it open and carefully studied the mantra within. The first style could restore one person's physical strength and true qi. At present, as long as Lin Yi could successfully activate the first style, he could solve Han Jingjing's problem. But to be on the safe side, Lin Yi still memorized the first 10 chants. Lin Yi's memory was not bad to begin with. The 10 verses of the incantation were not long, and it only took him a short while. After he finished reciting, Lin Yi put down the martial skill he had copied and began to prepare to execute the first form, Spring Rain from the Heavens. Executing the first form of the martial skill was actually not difficult for Lin Yi at all. However, it was a martial skill that could only be executed by someone who possessed both the water and wood attributes. It seemed like this martial skill was not something that just anyone could learn. If a sect could raise this many water and wood attribute warriors, then the sect scale would not be to be underestimated. One could only imagine how powerful those sects were in the ancient times. One could imagine how magnificent and powerful those sects were during the ancient times. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that there were as many experts as there were clouds in the sky. In this era, the number of heaven rank experts didn't exceed 3 digits. Once upon a time, heaven rank experts were as common as dogs. Above sky class, the legendary sky class masters were the true masters. However, with the passage of time, the natural world's spiritual energy became thinner and thinner. Let alone heaven rank, even mystic rank and earth rank were experts that only the hidden aristocratic families could have. After sighing, Lin Yi tried activating it. Of course, Lin Yi was still a little nervous. This was because this martial skill only had wood and water element. Based on the fact that he could activate the frenzied fire fist, the forest of wood's 1,000 transformations, and the fact that he could refine the space within the jade pendant, he should have 3 attributes, metal, wood and fire. But this martial skill had added a water attribute. Did he have a water attribute in his body? Lin Yi didn't believe it. Alchemists with 2 attributes were rare. Blacksmiths with 3 attributes were almost non-existent. Quadruple attribute, what kind of concept was that? But Lin Yi didn't give up. He followed the mantra of heavenly spring rain and started to circulate it in his body. He could circulate the mantra normally, but he didn't know if he could successfully activate it. Heavenly spring rain first form. Lin Yi followed the instructions of the martial skill and released the first form of heavenly spring rain first form, but in the next moment, Lin Yi's face turned ashen. Didn't succeed. Activation failed. Lin Yi looked at his hands in disbelief. Just now, Lin Yi had felt the power of the mantra. Just as he was about to send it out through his palm, he stopped abruptly. Impossible, how could this be possible? At the moment of activation, Lin Yi was sure that he could successfully activate it. After all, the mantra of the martial skill had turned the qi in his body into the power of the martial skill and pushed it to the meridians in his palms. He was about to activate it, but the activation failed. Thinking of this, Lin Yi used the mantra of heavenly spring rain again and tried to activate it for the second time. The result was still a failure. This result made Lin Yi, who had always been successful in activating martial skills, turn pale. Previously, because he had the omnipotent martial skill, Lin Yi thought that no matter what martial skill it was, he could successfully activate it. Especially after he combined the Wood Forest 1000 transformations, 5 elements 8 trigrams palm, Frenzied Fire Fist and 5 elements 8 trigrams palm into 2 new martial skills. Lin Yi felt that he could activate any martial skill. But the current situation was a heavy blow to Lin Yi. Heavenly Spring Rain couldn't be activated. Moreover, it was a martial skill that was very useful to Lin Yi. He couldn't activate it, and this made Lin Yi depressed to the extreme. Could it be that there was no water element in his body? The omnipotent martial skill was also based on the element in the body. If there was this element in the body, he could successfully activate the martial skill. If there wasn't this element in the body, he couldn't activate it? As soon as this thought appeared, Lin Yi knew that his guess was probably right. Sighing, Lin Yi turned around and left the room. He didn't continue to study Heavenly Spring Rain anymore. Lin Yi knew that he had mastered the mantra of Heavenly Spring Rain. The reason why he couldn't activate it was because of other reasons. Shield bro, you're out. Yushu saw Lin Yi coming out of the room and jumped up from the sofa. You haven't told me a fun story yet. Lin Yi locked himself in the room when he got home. It could be said that Lin Yi hadn't talked to Mengyao and Yushu since he came back from Wulanhate mountain range. This made Yushu a little unhappy. Shu, Lin Yi has something important to do. He's studying martial skills. He doesn't have time to tell you stories. Mengyao pulled Shu back to the sofa and said to Lin Yi, don't mind her. You go do what you need to do. She remembered that Lin Yi had created the Fire Bagua Palm based on Taganlong's technique. He'd crippled Elder Bai in one move, so that was the truth. Lin Yi had really gotten stronger. If it was before, Lin Yi wouldn't have been able to cripple an Earth-class late-phase peak with one move. Shu, maybe you're right. Mengyao nodded and turned to Lin Yi, then you, be careful next time. Promise me and Shu that you'll stay alive. Don't take risks. Okay. Lin Yi smiled. Feeling the miscare, Lin Yi felt warmth in his heart. It was just that he didn't know how to define his relationship with the Mississippi. At first, their relationship was very simple, just employer and follower, but later on, it seemed like they were more like friends. The Miss didn't order Lin Yi around anymore, later on. Now, they seemed to be good friends. But it didn't seem like it. Pure and ambiguous. But no matter what, it was a very good feeling. Shield bro, come shopping with me in Yao Yao tomorrow. We haven't gone shopping in a long time. We don't want to go out when you're not home, Yushu said. It's been so long since I'm in college. I don't have much homework, and my weekends are even better than when I was in Songshan. Sure. Lin Yi nodded. He had a lot of things to do these days, one after the other. From Donghai to the Hidden House Summit, he had to go to Wulanhate mountain range. He didn't have much time to spend with Shu and the Mississippi. Oh, Shield bro, you're the best. Yushu called out happily. Mengyao didn't say anything, but there was a flash of joy in her eyes. The night passed peacefully, and the next morning, Lin Yi drove his big Cherokee out of the villa with Mengyao and Yushu. Next door, in Han Jingjing's villa, Han Jingjing stood at the window with a wronged look on her face. She waved her fist. Lin Yi bro, you don't even bring Jing Jing out to play. What a waste of Jing Jing working so hard for you. Humph. But after complaining, Han Jingjing picked up her tablet again and looked at it, but her phone rang. Han Jingjing took out her phone and looked at the caller ID. She picked it up quietly. Dad. Jingjing, how have you been? University life isn't bad, is it? It was a middle-aged man, naturally Han Jingjing's father. It's still all right. It's just that the faculty of botanical medicine is different from what I've come into contact with in the past. It's a different specialization, so it's a little strenuous for me to learn it. Han Jingjing said as she rubbed her aching temples. Recently, she had been studying pill forging day and night, wasting countless brain cells. Huh, who told you to choose this major on the spur of the moment? Isn't it the same in economics? It's your specialty, isn't it? Mr. Han said with a smile. It's different. Anyway, I quite like this major. Han Jingjing smiled. And, as long as you like it. Mr. Han nodded and didn't say anything else. Yeah, it's my own choice. You don't have to worry, Dad. Han Jingjing said. Do I have to worry? You don't have to worry about our family, Mr. Han smiled. Right, how's little Chow? Chapter 2356. If Lin Yi or someone who knew Han Jingjing were here, they'd be very surprised. Wasn't Han Jingjing a nerd as well? But the Han Jingjing right now was very normal, not cute at all. Yeah, I'll be counting on you for Lil Chow. Mr. Han said. Alright, that's enough. I have a business to discuss here, and those ingredients you asked me to find are too hard to find. As for rainbow steel, blue crystal powder, and pure yellow jade, I've never even heard of them. Don't worry, take your time. It'd be best if you can find them. I want to give him a surprise. Han Jingjing said. I'll try my best. That's enough, I'm hanging up now. Mr. Han hung up naturally. Han Jingjing put down the phone and picked up her tablet, returning to her nerd self. Donghai was a provincial city, and the business streets were completely different from Songshan's. It was more prosperous here, and more orderly. There was a dazzling array of shops on the side of the street, and there were all sorts of international and domestic brand stores. There were all sorts of luxury cars in the parking lot as well, and Lin Yi's Grand Cherokee wasn't that eye-catching in comparison. An Audi TT parked nearby, and Lin Yi was in a bit of a trance. It was as if he was back in Songshan, when he went out with Yao Yao and Shu, and met Xiao Xiao for the first time, but the driver of the Audi TT was a fat woman, and that shattered Lin Yi's fantasy. Shaking his head, Lin Yi felt troubled. Xiao Xiao. He'd thought that after learning Sky Rain, she'd be able to help Han Jingjing with pill refinement, but it seemed like that dream was shattered. When would she be able to make a third-level pill? It seemed like the only way was to break through to Sky Class and get Han Jingjing to Earth Class late phase peak, and then find a chi-gathering pill for her. That was the only way. But there was still a long way to go before he could reach the heaven rank, and chi-gathering pills weren't easy to find. The Sky Elixir Sects test made Lin Yi hesitate. He'd wanted rainbow steel, blue crystal powder, and pure yellow jade, but a chi-gathering pill seemed to be more worth it. Lin Yi was caught in a dilemma and had a headache. In fact, the Miss and Shu enjoyed the process of shopping. They didn't need to buy anything, especially after they entered university. Mengyao and Yushu were even more low-key. Although they were named as the prettiest girls in the school, they didn't fight for the limelight. They didn't want to cause unnecessary trouble for Lin Yi. After all, there were more people in the university. They came from all over the world and had all kinds of backgrounds. It was different from when they were in Songshan City. They didn't have to worry too much about the private high school under Pengzhan Industries. Kidnap. Help, happened in an instant. After the fat woman was stuffed into the Mercedes-Benz van, the big man followed, and the van drove away. Lin Yi frowned. He could stop them if he wanted to, but Lin Yi didn't. He didn't know the fat woman, and they had nothing to do with each other. Secondly, he was accompanying the Miss and Shu for shopping. He wouldn't let something like this get in his way. Lin Yi wasn't a warm-hearted person. He only looked at the leaving Mercedes-Benz van and didn't pay much attention to it. Why is this black van the same as the one that kidnapped Xinyan? They both don't have a license plate, and the same model? Yushu said, surprised. Could it be the same group of people? Mengyao noticed this as well. It looks like a Mercedes-Benz B200. Their modus operandi is quite similar. Oh. Lin Yi paused. He hadn't asked Shintian and Elder Pai about Xinyan's kidnapping since he got back, but he didn't think that the kidnapping in the downtown area would be related to Xinyan's case. This made it even more likely that it was a coincidence. After all, Lin Yi didn't know the fat woman at all, and Lin Yi wasn't familiar with the kidnapping method either. Let's go. This has nothing to do with us. Lin Yi said faintly to the Miss and Shu. Mengyao and Yushu didn't want to stick their noses in other people's business, and they nodded. They were about to leave when a patrol officer ran over to them, yelling at Lin Yi and the others. Everyone, don't leave yet. You're all eyewitnesses, can you please give us a statement? Lin Yi didn't think there was much point in giving a statement, but he had no choice. He stopped with Mengyao and Yushu. After that, the two asked Lin Yi and the others about the kidnapping. Everyone's story was pretty much the same. A black Mercedes-Benz B200 without a license plate kidnapped the fat woman from the Audi TT. As for the other details, no one paid attention to themselves, they were all too shocked by what they just witnessed. But then, a cheetah SUV sped over and stopped at the scene. Lingshan and Lu Wangli got out of the car, looking very serious. Captain Song. The two patrolling officers saluted and handed the statement to Lingshan. What's the situation? Are there any similarities to the previous cases? Lingshan instinctively thought of the previous kidnapping cases when she heard the word kidnapping. More or less, it's a black Mercedes-Benz B200 without a license plate. One of the patrolling officers said. But this time, it wasn't near the university city, so we can't rule out the possibility of someone using the same car to commit the crime. Yeah. Lingshan nodded. It was true, after the previous kidnapping cases, a lot of people knew about the car. If someone were to use the same car, it might confuse the police. Did you find out the hostage's identity? Lingshan asked. We've checked the car number, but we haven't gotten any results yet. We're still interrogating the eyewitnesses. The patrolling officer said. Chapter 2357. It wasn't that Lingshan hadn't thought about asking Lin Yi for help, but Lin Yi had gone out a while ago, and she knew about it from Xinyan's case. That was why she didn't contact Lin Yi. Now that Lin Yi was back, naturally, she wouldn't let him go. She'd been worrying about the case recently, so why wouldn't she ask Lin Yi about it? Lin Yi. Lingshan walked over quickly. Lin Yi rubbed his nose and smiled bitterly. It seemed that the more he didn't want to be a busybody, the busybodies found their way to him, and he had no choice but to do it. Lingshan, what a coincidence. Lin Yi said helplessly. Coincidence? You didn't contact me when you came back? Lingshan wasn't very happy, especially when she saw Lin Yi bringing the Miss and Shu out shopping. I didn't have the time, but I was going to contact you. Lin Yi wasn't lying to Lingshan. He had a chi-gathering pill in his hand, and he wanted to give one to Lingshan. He couldn't just give Chintian everything and not Lingshan. Really? Lingshan looked at the Miss and Shu, noticing that they weren't hostile. Her relationship with Mengyao and Yushu had improved quite a bit, and they weren't as bad as before. Really? Lin Yi nodded, but you should get back to business first. Lingshan nodded and asked, do you have any suspects? I just came back, and it's only the third day. Where would I get a suspect? Lin Yi smiled bitterly. I see. Lingshan sighed, a little disappointed, but she knew that it was reasonable. After all, Lin Yi had just come back, and he didn't know much about the situation. She didn't ask, "Alright, you guys go shopping first. We'll talk later." "Yeah, go do what you need to do." Lin Yi nodded before leaving with Meng Yao and Yushu. Ling Shan was a little disappointed, but she still went through the notes patiently. After that, the documents of the hostages were sent to her. Lei Xiling was the daughter of Lei Daming, the president of the Donghai Chamber of Commerce. She was a fourth-year student at the Business College of Donghai Foreign Studies. She drove an Audi TT sports car and was probably here to shop. Ling Shan's heart skipped a beat. Another student? Moreover, it was the daughter of a wealthy businessman. This was similar to the previous cases. It seemed that the other party was after money. Ling Shan had no choice but to contact Lei Daming. Lei Daming was hiding in the Zhao family and packing his luggage. He was ready to go to Jiduan City to start a new business career. Suddenly, his mobile phone rang. It was an unfamiliar number. "Hello, I'm Lei Daming." Lei Daming didn't dare to refuse, he was afraid that it was Lin Yi. "Lei Daming? I'm Song Lingshan from Donghai's criminal investigation team. Your daughter was just kidnapped on the commercial street, can you come to Songshan's police station?" Lingshan asked. "What? My daughter was kidnapped?" Lei Daming froze. He didn't dare believe it. Although Lei Daming knew about the kidnapping cases in Donghai, he never thought that someone would dare kidnap his daughter. After all, his identity was there. Of course, it wasn't the president of the Donghai Chamber of Commerce, but the representative of the hidden house Zhao. After all, the kidnappers dared to kidnap the daughter of a mafia boss. Naturally, they wouldn't be afraid of him, the president of a chamber of commerce. However, he didn't believe that anyone would dare to mess with the hidden house Zhao. His identity and background weren't a secret, and the kidnappers would naturally investigate his background before kidnapping him. Yes, it should be done by the same group of suspects as the previous kidnapping cases. "That's why I need you to come," Ling Shan said. "Wait, I'll be right there." Lei Daming was troubled. He had just lost his power and his daughter was kidnapped. This was too much of a scam. It was really an unlucky year. However, before Lei Daming could drive to the Donghai police station, the kidnapper's phone call came first. "Lei Daming?" A voice changer came from the other side of the phone. "You? Who are you?" Lei Daming was shocked. He could vaguely guess what was going on. "Prepare 20 million, or don't blame us," the person said coldly. "Don't doubt our reputation. You should have heard of the previous kidnapping cases. Of course, if you don't cooperate, we'll kill you." "Wait. I don't have 20 million. Lei Daming said bitterly. "You don't? You're the president of Donghai Chamber of Commerce, and you have so many businesses under you. You don't even have 20 million? Who are you kidding?" The person heard Lei Daming's words and became impatient. He humphed coldly. "If you don't want anything to happen, hand over the money. Don't think that I don't know your background. You're a dog of the hidden house Zhao. How could you not have 20 million? Lei Daming didn't expect them to find out about his hidden identity. It seemed that the kidnappers didn't care about his identity at all. However, he wanted to cry. "I'm no longer the president of Donghai Chamber of Commerce. I've been fired. The hidden house Zhao doesn't need me anymore. I don't have any money now. Humph. I don't care. Release her when you see the money, kill her within 24 hours. The person humphed coldly and hung up. Lei Daming didn't know what to do. He wanted to ask for help from the hidden house Zhao, but he remembered that he'd offended Lin Yi before. The hidden house Zhao probably wouldn't help him, and it was obvious that the kidnappers weren't afraid of the hidden house Zhao. Thinking back to how the gambling bro's daughter's golden class bodyguard was crippled in one hit, it seemed that the kidnappers were quite powerful. But no matter what, Lei Daming still headed to the police station first. On the way, he thought about how he should ask the hidden house Zhao for help. After parting ways with Ling Shan, Lin Yi brought Meng Yao and Yushu to a shopping mall nearby. They shopped for the whole morning, but didn't buy anything. The three of them had lunch at a restaurant in the mall. Meng Yao was drinking her soup after dinner, while Yushu was looking at Lin Yi with those big eyes of hers, as if she wanted to say something, but didn't know what to say. "What do you want?" Lin Yi asked. "I heard that there's a casino in the basement of this mall. I've never been to a casino before. Shield bro, can you bring me and Yao Yao to see it?" Yushu said pitifully. "Casino?" Lin Yi blinked. He didn't expect there to be a casino in the basement of this mall. Chapter 2359. Compared to the stuffy atmosphere in the warehouse, the central air conditioning here was very comfortable, and the waiters in red uniforms were warm and attentive, welcoming every guest. The dealer in green uniform walked back and forth in the casino. It was very lively. The scale of this place surprised Lin Yi. Because of his previous missions, Lin Yi had been to many casinos, but the scale of the casino here was definitely not small. Although it wasn't comparable to casinos like Macau and Las Vegas, it was still one of the best in the underground casinos. "3 distinguished guests, please exchange your chips over here." The man in the black suit gestured, indicating that Lin Yi and the others could exchange their chips at the bar. "Okay." Lin Yi nodded and said, "Thank you. I wish the 3 of you have a good time, and a fruitful return." The man in the black suit smiled slightly and went back to his own business. Of course, the fruitful return, he said, was just for show. There were very few people who actually won money in the casino, almost none. "Don't exchange too much, just play around," Lin Yi said to Yushu. "Oh, then let's exchange for 100,000, Yushu thought about it and said. Lin Yi nodded. Although 100,000 wasn't a small amount, it was really nothing to Meng Yao and Lin Yi. Peng Zhan gave them more than this amount of pocket money every month. Yushu went to the bar to exchange chips and came back with a big pile of chips worth 1,000. She was a little excited. "Yao Yao sis, shield bro, what do you want to play?" "I don't want to play." Lin Yi knew that gambling was a scam. He had no interest in gambling at all. "You play, I'll just watch." "I don't know how to play." Meng Yao had never touched these things before. She came here only out of curiosity, no other intentions. "Okay." Yushu didn't hold back. She looked around the entertainment facilities on the first floor and said, "Let's go play slot machines, this is easy and fun." The full name of the slot machine was the slot machine. It was a kind of gambling machine that could often be seen in casinos. There were even entertainment places that specialized in playing corner machines. It was very common. It could be said that almost every casino had this kind of machine. The gameplay was also very simple. You just had to put the pieces, chips, into the machine, and then different patterns would randomly appear. If the time stopped, and if the same or specific patterns appeared, you would win based on the odds. This machine. It was also called the fruit machine or the 777, and was popular among gamblers because of its simplicity. Yushu didn't know much about other machines, and so naturally, she'd locked onto this machine first. "Then let's go take a look." Lin Yi and Meng Yao followed Yushu to a wall full of slot machines. There were a lot of people here, but there were still some empty slots. Yushu found a random machine and started operating it. This thing was easy to learn, and even newbies could play with it. Yushu played with it for a while. After losing a few thousand yuan in chips, she learned how to operate it. Of course, you could also ask the dealer for help, but Yushu preferred to do her own research. Meng Yao was just looking at the novelty, and Lin Yi had nothing to do. He had to admit that the scale of the place was on point, and it didn't look like those simple and crude underground casinos at all. From the number of security guards, the service of the waiters, and the level of professionalism of the dealer, one could tell that the employees in this casino had definitely gone to a proper casino for training. To be able to open a casino like this, the identity of the owner was definitely not simple. He was probably some big boss of Donghai's underworld, but Lin Yi didn't want to cause trouble. When it came to gambling, one was willing to fight, and the other was willing to suffer. As long as they didn't cheat, Lin Yi didn't want to be Spider-Man. Yushu played for a while, and there were wins and losses. But at this time, Yushu's intelligence and ability to discover Shu stood out. She started researching the rules of the slot machines. In fact, as long as it was a computer-controlled gambling machine, there would always be a certain rule, but this rule was something normal people wouldn't be able to discover. Guanyin walked into this dilapidated old residential area and couldn't help but frown. If it wasn't for his father, he would never come to a place like this. However, he only felt disgust, not guilt at all. Chen Shi and her daughter were like strangers in his eyes, and their life and death had nothing to do with him. The hidden house Zhao was an extremely patriarchal family. This was why Zhao Qibing, an illegitimate son, was able to rise to the top, and Chen Shi was reduced to a furnace for gifts. Knock knock knock. Guangyi knocked on the broken security door, and the rotten smell in the corridor filled his heart with disgust. What kind of place was this? Who is it? Mrs. Chen asked curiously. Today was Sunday, and Chen Shi was picking up trash with Grandpa Zhu. There shouldn't be anyone here at this time. It's me. Guangyin didn't know how to describe his identity, and he could only suppress the disgust in his heart. He pretended to be helpless and smiled bitterly. Little Shi's father, what? Mother Chen's expression froze. Her hand, which was about to open the door, immediately stopped. She was in a daze as she lowered her trembling head to look through the peephole. Through the peephole, she saw a face that made her heart ache, worry, and a little hate. It really was him. Mrs. Chen didn't even know his name, and she didn't know who he was. She only knew that he raped her, gave her a few thousand yuan, and left her alone. After that, she never saw this person again. So even in her dreams, Mrs. Chen never thought that this person would appear in front of her again. Was this a good thing or a bad thing? Although Mrs. Chen was a kind person, when she saw this man appear in front of her house again, after the excitement, there was only vigilance left. How did he find his way here? And after so many years, why did he come here? Most importantly, how did he call out Little Shi's name? One had to know that when she gave birth to Little Shi, this person didn't know. You. What do you want? I don't know you. Mrs. Chen said subconsciously. Open the door, I'm here to talk about Little Shi. Guangyin thought. Bitch, you're still pretending? You don't know me? If it wasn't for the family's grand plan, do you think I'd want to come to you? Little Shi. What happened to her? Mrs. Chen was shocked, and after hearing that it was about Chen Shi, she stopped doubting Guangyin's motives and opened the door with a bang. Chapter 2360. The dazed Mother Chen once again saw this face up close, a face that she could never forget. This was the only man she had, and the man she hated the most. The drunken promiscuity brought Chen Shi and her mother so many years of hardship. How difficult was it for a woman to raise a child all by herself? Little Shi. Ah, it's a long story. Zhao Guangyin pretended to sigh helplessly. Today, he was playing the role of a downtrodden man, so even though he drove a Mercedes-Benz, his outfit was extremely shabby. Of course, it was a fake shabby outfit. What's wrong with Little Shi? Tell me. Mother Chen was losing her composure. Chen Shi was her lifeblood, and now that Zhao Guangyin was hesitating, she subconsciously felt that something was wrong. This started when I found little Shi. Zhao Guanyin began to make up a story. After I found little Shi, I treated her to a meal to express my apologies for all these years, but I didn't think that my enemy would come looking for me. I owed him money. In the end, he took little Shi away to pay the debt, saying that a daughter should pay for a father's debt. What? Little Shi was taken away? Mother Chen was stunned, glaring at Zhao Guanyin angrily. At this moment, her worry for her daughter made her dizzy. She forgot to ask Zhao Guanyin how he found Chen Shi, and how he found this place. All she could think of was, what should she do? What should she do? Yes, there's no other way, I can only discuss it with you. Zhao Guanyin didn't want to say another word. Seeing Mother Chen's shock, he was overjoyed. If Mother Chen wasn't afraid or didn't believe him, he would have to make up a bunch of nonsense to explain. That would be really troublesome, but he didn't expect Mother Chen to be so gullible. Then what should we do? You bastard, why are you looking for little Shi? It's been so many years, and you haven't come to see us. Why are you looking for little Shi now? Aren't you harming her? Mother Chen was very agitated. Why does your enemy want to capture Xiao Shi? Sigh. I was just thinking that since we haven't seen each other for so many years, I should make it up to little Shi. Who would have thought that my enemy would come? Guanyin said bitterly. He brought little Shi to the casino in the commercial district of Donghai City. I heard that he wanted to curry favor with a Southeast Asian gambling king, Park Ho-Ti, and was prepared to give little Shi to him. I couldn't stop him. Sigh, it's all my fault. What? Mother Chen was dumbfounded. What Southeast Asian gambling king? What casino? This made her feel that it was very far away from her life. It had nothing to do with her at all. As for the Southeast Asian gambling king, since he was called the gambling king, he must be a powerful and wealthy person. She was just a weak woman, how could she compete with him? She really hated Zhao Guanyin to death. Of all times, he had to come at this time. It was simply a disaster for her and her daughter. At this time, Boss Zhu pushed the door open and ran in, shouting, "Not good, not good, Xiao Chen Shi was taken away." Boss Zhu's appearance was naturally arranged to make Mother Chen believe it was true. If only Boss Zhu appeared, perhaps Mother Chen wouldn't believe it so easily. After all, how could a little girl who picked up trash be taken away? However, Zhao Guanyin's appearance was different. Once he appeared, Mother Chen's mind was in a mess. Then, he threw out the bomb that Chen Shi had been kidnapped, which made Mother Chen even more confused. She didn't have the time to think about whether this matter was true or not. Especially when Boss Zhu appeared at the right time, it confirmed Zhao Guanyin's words. Mother Chen was already at a loss, and now Boss Zhu appeared and said that Chen Shi was taken away. Mother Chen was dumbfounded. Ah! You're here too? You bastard, didn't you say you're Chen Shi's father? Are you going to treat her to a meal and tell her something? Why did I see her being taken away? Boss Zhu didn't expect Zhao Guanyin to be here. When he saw Zhao Guanyin, he immediately pointed at him and cursed. This. Zhao Guanyin laughed in his heart. Boss Zhu's acting was quite good. You? The situation is urgent now. I secretly followed those people for a while, and I heard that they wanted to use Chen Shi as a bet to please the king of gambling, Pak Ho-Ti. Chen, quickly think of a way, don't let those beasts ruin Chen Shi. Boss Zhu said anxiously. Boss Zhu, what should we do? Mother Chen asked in panic. Now, we can only think of a way to ask someone to help us. Boss Zhu began to set up a trap, ready to lead Mother Chen into the trap. I'm just a weak woman, I don't know anyone, how can I compare with those rich and powerful gambling kings? Who can we find to save Chen Shi? Mother Chen said helplessly. Right, I remember someone, he must have a way. Boss Zhu slapped his thigh as if he remembered something important. Who? Zhao Guanyin and Mother Chen asked at the same time. Lin Yi. Boss Zhu finally said the name that he had been waiting for a long time. Lin Yi? Can he help? Mother Chen was desperate. When she heard Boss Zhu mention Lin Yi, she subconsciously thought that Lin Yi might be able to help. After all, Lin Yi had helped their family a lot, maybe he really had a way. Chen Shi said that Lin Yi had a lot of connections in Songshan, he even knew people from Pengzhan Industries, so he must have a way. So in her panic, Mother Chen didn't have time to think carefully. She picked up the phone and dialed Lin Yi's number. Lin Yi held the phone in his hand as he recalled what Mrs. Chen had said. It was a bit confusing, but Lin Yi understood it all. Chen Shi had been kidnapped, brought to the casino he was in, and someone was using her as a wager against Southeast Asia's king of gamblers, Park Ho-Ti. Or, to please Pak Ho-Ti, this person took the initiative to give Chen Shi to Pak Ho-Ti, although Mother Chen's explanation was full of loopholes in Lin Yi's eyes. Something about Chen Shi's father who hadn't seen for years appearing and taking Chen Shi away, or her father's enemies appearing and taking Chen Shi away, then Chen Shi's father came looking for her. This series of actions was indescribably strange. Where did Chen Shi's father find Chen Shi? How did he know where Mother Chen lived? Why did Chen Shi eat with a stranger? The most amazing thing was that Boss Zhu, an Earth-class early-phase master, could only watch as Chen Shi was taken away, and even came back to testify. Chapter 2361. Mother Chen once again saw this face up close, a face she could never forget. This was the only man she had, and the man she hated the most. The drunken promiscuity brought Chen Shi and her mother so many years of hardship. How difficult was it for a woman to raise a child all by herself? Little Shi. Sigh, it's a long story. Zhao Guanyin pretended to sigh helplessly. Today, he was playing the role of a downtrodden man, so even though he drove a Mercedes-Benz, his outfit was extremely shabby. Of course, it was a fake shabby outfit. What happened to little Shi? Tell me. Mother Chen was a little uneasy. Chen Shi was her lifeblood, and now that Zhao Guanyin was hesitating, she subconsciously felt that something was wrong. This started when I found little Shi. Zhao Guanyin began to make up a story. After I found little Shi, I treated her to a meal to express my apologies for all these years, but I didn't think that my enemy would come looking for me. I owed him money. In the end, he directly took little Shi away to pay the debt, saying that a daughter should pay for a father's debt. What? Little Shi was taken away? Mother Chen was stunned, and she glared at Zhao Guanyin angrily. At this moment, her worry for her daughter made her dizzy. She forgot to ask how Zhao Guanyin found Chen Shi, and how he found this place. All she could think of was, what should I do? What should I do? Yes, there's no other way, I can only come and discuss it with you. Zhao Guanyin didn't want to say another word, and now that he saw Mother Chen's shock, he was immediately overjoyed. If Mother Chen wasn't afraid or didn't believe him, he would have to make up a bunch of nonsense to explain. That would be really troublesome, but he didn't expect Mother Chen to be so gullible, believing him so quickly. Then what should I do? You bastard, why are you looking for little Shi? It's been so many years, you haven't come to see us, why are you looking for little Shi now? Aren't you harming her? Mother Chen was very agitated. Why does your enemy want to capture Xiao Shi? Sigh. I was just thinking that since we haven't seen each other for so many years, I should make it up to little Shi. Who would have thought that my enemy would come? Guanyin said bitterly. He brought little Shi to the casino in the commercial district of Donghai City. I heard that he wanted to curry favor with a Southeast Asian gambling king, Park Ho-Ti, and was prepared to give little Shi to him. I couldn't stop him. Sigh, it's all my fault. What? Mother Chen was dumbfounded. What Southeast Asian gambling king? What casino? This made her feel that it was very far away from her life. It had nothing to do with her at all. As for the Southeast Asian gambling king, since he was called the gambling king, he must be a powerful and wealthy person. She was just a weak woman, how could she compete with him? She really hated Zhao Guanyin to death. Of all times, he had to come at this time. It was simply a disaster for her and her daughter. At this time, Boss Zhu pushed the door open and ran in, shouting, "Not good, not good, Xiao Chen, Chen Shi was taken away." Boss Zhu's appearance was naturally arranged to make Mother Chen believe it was true. If only Boss Zhu appeared, perhaps Mother Chen wouldn't believe it so easily. After all, how could a little girl who picked up trash be taken away? However, Zhao Guangyin's appearance was different. Once he appeared, Mother Chen's mind was in a mess. Then, he threw out the bomb that Chen Shi had been kidnapped, which made Mother Chen even more confused. She didn't have the time to think about whether this was true or not. Especially when Boss Zhu appeared at the right time, it confirmed Zhao Guangyin's words. Mother Chen was already at a loss, and now Boss Zhu appeared and said that Chen Shi was taken away. Mother Chen was dumbfounded. "Ah! You're here too? You bastard, didn't you say you're Chen Shi's father? Are you going to treat her to a meal and tell her something? Why did I see her being taken away?" Boss Zhu didn't expect Zhao Guanyin to be here. When he saw Zhao Guanyin, he immediately pointed at him and cursed. This. Zhao Guanyin laughed in his heart. Boss Zhu's acting was quite good. You? The situation is urgent now. I secretly followed those people for a while, and I heard that they wanted to use Chen Shi as a bet to please the king of gambling, Pak Ho Ti. Chen, quickly think of a way, don't let those beasts ruin Chen Shi. Boss Zhu said anxiously. Boss Zhu, what should we do? Mother Chen asked in panic. Now, we can only think of a way to ask someone to help us. Boss Zhu began to set up a trap, ready to lead Mother Chen into the trap. I'm just a weak woman, I don't know anyone, how can I compare with those rich and powerful gambling kings? Who can we find to save Chen Shi? Mother Chen said helplessly. Right, I remember someone, he must have a way. Boss Zhu slapped his thigh as if he remembered something important. Who? Zhao Guanyin and Mother Chen asked at the same time. Lin Yi. Boss Zhu finally said the name that he had been waiting for a long time. Lin Yi? Can he help? Mother Chen was desperate. When she heard Boss Zhu mention Lin Yi, she subconsciously thought that Lin Yi might be able to help. After all, Lin Yi had helped their family a lot, maybe he really had a way. Chen Shi said that Lin Yi had a lot of connections in Songshan, he even knew people from Pengzhan Industries, so he must have a way. So in her panic, Mother Chen didn't have time to think carefully. She picked up the phone and dialed Lin Yi's number. Lin Yi held the phone in his hand as he recalled what Mrs. Chen had said. It was a bit confusing, but Lin Yi understood it all. Chen Shi had been kidnapped, brought to the casino he was in, and someone was using her as a wager against Southeast Asia's king of gamblers, Pak Ho Ti. In other words, this person wanted to please Pak Ho Ti and took the initiative to give Chen Shi to Pak Ho Ti, although Mother Chen's explanation was full of loopholes in Lin Yi's eyes. Chen Shi's father that she hadn't seen for many years appeared and took Chen Shi away, or Chen Shi's father's enemy appeared and took Chen Shi away, then Chen Shi's father came looking for her. Chapter 2362. It didn't make sense at all. If Lin Yi didn't know that Boss Zhu was an Earth-class early phase, then so be it, Boss Zhu was clearly a master, and something like this had happened. There was only one possibility: Boss Zhu was hiding something, and this might have something to do with him. But all of this wasn't important anymore, because no matter what, Lin Yi had to save Chen Shi. He knew that this was a trap set up by Boss Zhu, but Lin Yi had no choice but to jump in. He couldn't just watch someone die. If something happened to Chen Shi, not only would it be hard to explain to Ziyu, but it would also be hard to explain to Xiao Xiao. After all, this was the girl that Xiao Xiao decided to help. If Xiao Xiao left, and Lin Yi didn't take good care of her, Xiao Xiao would be unhappy when she came back. There was no other way. Lin Yi had to go meet that Pu Ho Ti. Shu, Yao Yao, you guys stay here and play. I have something to do. I need to go to the second floor, Lin Yi said to the two. Alright, Shield Bro, go do what you need to do. Yushu was having fun, and she'd basically figured out the rules of the slot machine. She could win at least 2 or 3 times out of 10, but it was a level where she didn't lose anything. Lin Yi nodded. The security here was quite strong, and as long as Meng Yao and Yushu didn't cause trouble, there shouldn't be any problems. After all, the people who came here were all rich people, and if the security wasn't good, who would come here again? Yao Yao, keep an eye on Shu. Don't let her cause trouble. She can play by herself. Lin Yi told Meng Yao. I know, don't worry. The miss was a sensible person, and naturally, she wouldn't let Shu cause trouble. With that, Lin Yi walked to the second floor of the casino. The first floor was for the public, and it was very normal. The second floor, on the other hand, was for 5-card stud bets, and the entry chips were 1 million. Mrs. Chen, under Boss Zhu's guidance, knew that Chen Shi was in the second floor, and even knew the room number. There were many problems, but Mrs. Chen was panicking and didn't pay attention to these details. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was different. This was most likely Boss Zhu's doing. Good day, mister, this is the VIP section upstairs. You'll need to show your membership card or exchange 1 million in chips. Lin Yi was about to go downstairs when 2 waiters stopped him, saying politely. I'll go find someone. Lin Yi said. He was going to exchange his chips directly, but he suddenly remembered that if this was Boss Zhu's doing, there had to be something fishy going on. Boss Zhu would want him to get there as soon as possible. If he was stuck in the matter of the chips, it might not be what Boss Zhu wanted to see, so Lin Yi intended to test it. Looking for someone? The waiters were slightly surprised, and then asked, Sir, who are you looking for? The number 1 room, the Gambling King, Pu Ti. Lin Yi didn't like Boss Zhu from the start. If it wasn't for the fact that he wasn't sure which force he belonged to, and that he wasn't his opponent before, Lin Yi would have killed him a long time ago. Of course, the other reason why Lin Yi didn't do anything to him was because Boss Zhu was beside Chen Shi. Although he definitely had ulterior motives, at least he could protect Chen Shi. This was also why Lin Yi kept him alive. But now, was it finally time to make a move? You're tuning into the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.